Hello there, everyone. My name is GirafaStev. I'm the president of the Long Boy Club. I'm the very large enjoyer of gaming, wrestling, Brody motherfucking King, and my sticky cat tonight. You know what? I'm gonna just, so you're saying woo, because now it's time for the show. Hi, everyone. Hi there, Glitch. Hi there, Bri. Hello there, Tom. Welcome on in
Mario.
tonight. The Stinky Cat. Woo. Hi, Ashley.
Hello, Mario.
And hello, Devin. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm trying to do these days.
Hello, Mario.
Sometimes I forget. Hello, Egg. Can I call you Egg? No, because that's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. That is the name of the character that we're playing as in WWE Day of Reckoning. Last time we played it, we just about had a goddamn aneurysm over the tag title match in Unforgiven. You may remember that in that match, our tag team partner, Batista, who up until that point we've not lost with a single time, was turned on by Evolution. And Triple H somehow convinced our good friend Egg Hachi to do the dirty deed.
I don't know about you, but I think Triple H did nothing wrong.
You know what? I would fucking disagree with you, because you know what he gave us after that? He gave us Randy Orton. And he was like, well, that Batista guy, he's a drizzling shits.
Will Egg return in future wrestling games outside of Day of Reckoning, like in AU Fight Forever or WWE 2K26?
Dude, as much as I would love to say yes, Homunculus, I don't know if I can recreate Egg in future games, because I don't know if you've noticed, but he's a bit of a homunculus himself, you know. Do your best. I don't know if I can recapture the magic, you know? TVH, the hard part would be the haircut. I disagree. I think that the haircut would be pretty easy, because if anything, the recent 2K games have given us more options for crazy hair. What's going to be hard is recreating his big, luscious lips and his goddamn buns and thighs, you know? I don't know if any of you have noticed, but our old friend Egg Hachi, he has so much junk in the trunk. He has much more than anyone
Egg
else
brings
combined.
the Gyraverse more cinema than ever before. There, I said it.
Listen, I hear the fan demand, okay? But I will have to take it under the advisement with my creative team, who will consult me on this no doubt difficult endeavor. And I will get back to you on the Giraverse presentation about his place in the Giraverse. Speaking of which, the presentation for the Giraverse, I love the sickly looking giraffe. Dude, I love him too. Big ol' shouts out to my goddamn model artist, Radiant Griffin, which I believe I have them hyperlinked down in the credits section of the stream. Go follow them. I don't know if they're on Blue Sky. I think they're still on the bad website. But either way, you should get them a follow. And maybe get in contact with them about commissioning, because they do great work. Me and Radiant Griffin, we never used Live 2D before. You know, when I started VTubing, and we made my first model together. And then she kind of took the ball and ran with it, and now she's like a wizard at it. It's great, and I'm very proud of her. But yeah, you may be asking, well, Stev, of course you're a big fan of Brody King in AEW. Who wouldn't? You know, he's big, he's covered in tattoos, he barks like a golden retriever, which is my favorite type of dog. How couldn't you not love him? Oh, and he also has a sick metal band. Again, how could you not like him? Well, that's a very good question, and I don't have an answer for that. The only answer I have is for the inverse question. And that is, how can you possibly like him more than the amount you already love him? And the answer is this. not Day of Reckoning, although that would be pretty sick. No, it's this. This was on AEW last night, and it has since gone semi-viral.
Now the face in the eyes of the champion.
Now listen, I don't agree with this right here. When you've lost to AEW fanatics, brother, ICE didn't lose to AEW fanatics, because that would imply that they had us to begin with. They've never had us. We've always fucking hated them. Fuck ICE, by the way. But yeah, the Shop Zone. The Shop Zone is fucking based, dude. Hold on. Hold on just a second. Because I wanted to, like, go in there and see if there is any, like, things that we could get that would benefit our beloved Eikachi. Because the unfortunate thing is, I don't think there's any way we can make him better. I think that we struck gold with him, and we don't have to budge an inch on it. You know? You cannot simulate my rumbles in a 2K game. You can't rig the game to run a rumble how you want.
I feel like we're giving Egg a Daniel Bryan-like movement by wanting him to be a top star.
Dude, listen. I see the potential in Eikachi. Alright? I just don't know if it's possible. Listen. I don't think he's a B+ player. I just think he has a B+ look. You know? With the big fish lips. Dude, you say anything is possible? I need you to look at this man. Okay? I need you to look at this man. Right now. I know you'll be looking at him for the next 3 hours, but I need you to see him again. I need you to see this man again for what he is. Look. Okay, I'm pulling him up. Hey God, she's fabulous. He very much is. Like, look at this makeup for one thing. Do you think I'll be able to recreate this? This right here is like t-shirt canon goddamn makeup. Like, you think I can recreate this? And what about these lips, dude? These are not... Dude, these are not just Kiss Boy lips. These are fish lips. They are not just fish lips. They're Kiss Boy lips. and not just that, but the crown as well on the shoulder. Like, you can't do shit like that. ECW. Yeah, he would be good in ECW. You got the flying, like, comb, the crown on his shoulder traveling along his body, the crop top. You got the salmon pants and gloves. You calling him a boy kisser? Are you calling him a boy kisser? Because if you're calling him that, I'll canonize it. I have no problem making him a boy kisser. Listen, his, like, lips are primed and ready for it. Alright? He does. He does deserve a nice boy to kiss. He does in fact deserve a nice boy to kiss and maybe have some beautiful eggs with. Hi, Hanway. How are you, buddy? You know, Henry may be large, but Ollie is, like, larger. He's fat. My roommate came over and said that she thought that Henry joined me. I mean, he might later. Because he'll probably get up on my desk and he'll start batting at the mic, as he's wanted to do. Yeah, he yelled at me. roommate said that he yelled at her for food earlier. Is it true that Henry competes in a pet wrestling ring? Dude, just wait. That's part of the Giraverse, okay? Henry is part of the Giraverse. You said kissing boys, also only if you want to canonize it. Dude, listen. I want to canonize that shit. Listen, if the reaction by lay people to the AEW crowd chanting fuck ice is anything to go by, we need to be even louder, we need to be even more anti-fascist, and we need to be even more queer. So fuck it. Everyone in the Giraverse is gay now. Everyone kisses boys. Hey, Kachi confirmed gay bi pan. We need to make the Giraverse even more queer. Fuck ice. Yeah, dude. Fuck ice. Absolutely. Hey, Kachi says fuck ice. Hold on here. I mean, again, I feel like this is perfect, right? But when we get to WrestleMania, that needs to be like a watershed moment for this character, right? Like, we need to take it in directions that once upon a time would never have been possible, right? We need to take him in directions that this current incarnation is just not meant for. But no. If the reaction to... Because, like I said, the reaction to, like, the fuck ice stuff has, like... It's gone semi-viral. And if the reaction by lay people has taught me anything, which, by the way, the reaction by lay people is like, I wouldn't expect AEW fans to be chanting fuck ice. Which is like saying that you don't expect, like, I don't know, like, water to come out of a fridge, right? Like, these are just things that are common sense, right? The AEW audience is very left-leaning. So, like, it shows me that, one, we're not being loud enough, and two, the dominant perception of wrestling is still, like, the blue-collar, rugged redneck kind of, like, you know, like, really, really right-leaning man, right? And to some extent, it still is. I mean, like... What now? Whereas, like, the average wrestling fan is a lot more diverse. Like, still, yeah, like, you got, like, cis-het white guys like me, although I am asexual. But that's really as queer as it gets for me. But, like, you also have, like, a lot of women now. You have a lot, like, of, you know, queer people. You have a lot of trans people, you know? The audience for wrestling is a lot more diverse than it used to be, you know? And the fact that this hasn't caught on is... It tells me we need to be louder, and we also need to be gayer, you know? So fuck it. In the spirit of that, I am now declaring I'm now declaring a resolution. Come here close, chat. Come here close. I'm now declaring a resolution that every single member of the Giraverse is gay. And there's nothing that you could do about it. When I first joined my EFED, I thought it'd be right-leaning and no limited queer folk. Were you wrong on that? I thought you were gonna say that you were declaring war. No. I'm declaring war on not being gay. That's a requirement now if you're in the Giraverse. Everyone needs to be queer in some way. Come on. Twitch just flagged very queer. No, we have reclaimed that. That's fine. Don't worry about that. I thought you were going to say that you're declaring war. Dude, we already had a war, alright? We already had a war between, between the Union and Wisconsin. That's, again, part of the Giraverse. God damn it. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get that presentation done by the end of March, chat. There's so much I want to do with it. Like, I want to make a big event out of it. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. Like, I have, like, a lot of things planned for it. And I don't want to half-ass it. You know? I want this to be, like, the beginning of something. You know? Of something that we can, you know, like, build upon. As, you know, we continue to, you know, do more streams going forward. In the Giraverse, John Cena is a stealth bomber. Exactly! That's part of the lore, alright? And that's something we need to expand on. Along with Gira's Zoo and the goddamn Simverse. And, like, and their goddamn lives outside of wrestling. Gira and Gina's lives outside of wrestling. That's stuff we need to expand on, okay? And that all begins with the Giraverse presentation, and I don't want to half-ass that. I want to, like, make that something special and something that, you know, we have a lot of fun with. So it might take a little longer than I thought it would, but I promise it's going to be worth it. I hereby declare war on closets and heteronormativity. Dude, what? Dude, that reads like a goddamn, Bender line, honestly. That shit reads like a Bender line. Aw, my two Wilhelm monsters. I love them so much. Alright, what time are we sitting at? We got 20 minutes, but... 20 minutes until the ad break, but we're about half an hour in. It's a modified quote from the end of The Incredibles. Underminer says, peace and happiness. Oh, I remember. You know, it's weird because, like, when I think of the Underminer, I don't think of, like, the end of The Incredibles or even, like, the beginning of Incredibles 2. I think of the goddamn rise of the Underminer video game on PlayStation 2, and I think it was on GameCube, too. Ollie really is bigger than Henry. Ollie is so funny because Ollie has, like, a little pouch of fat, like, around, like, his pelvic area, right? And my mom came over one time and she was like, hey, is that healthy? And I was like, that's a good question. So we took him into the vet. And, you know, I was preparing for the worst. I was preparing for some sort of disastrous diagnosis. But what actually ended up happening was this, right? I took him in, they put him on the scale, and, you know, they kind of felt around on his pouch, and they were like, well, it's not oozing. We think that this is just part of his, and I quote, primordial pouch. And that it's just how he holds body fat down. Now, on one hand, that's a big relief, right? That's a big relief. But on the other, that's really funny. Because the fact it's called the primordial pouch is just phenomenal to me. If I ever wrestle a match, that's going to be my finishing move name. I don't even know what it's gonna be. I'm just gonna fucking call it the primordial pouch. It could be like a it could be like a Michinoku driver or like a burning hammer, and the costume's like, oh, by God, Kang, it's the primordial pouch. He's broken in half. Henry's more. Ollie's behind on the stages of evolution. he's still like eating ticks and fucking licking up his own poop. Meanwhile, Henry's more sophisticated than that. Meanwhile, Henry's way more sophisticated than that. He knows that poop isn't food. It's something you play with. Okay. We're gonna run the ad, and then we'll get started on Day of Reckoning, y'all. I'll be back here in a few minutes. Oliver is fat, chat. He's...
Nom nom. Oh, excuse me, we're back, my dudes.
I like to think that what we have going on right now is better than ZM.
He's fat!
Literally this... Dude, literally this was the vet telling me what's wrong with Oliver.
He's fat!
That he is. Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to Raw. Yeah, that's basically what she said to me. They told me he was fat, which he is. I hope your vet wasn't Scott Steiner. Dude, if my vet was Scott Steiner, I would be shitting bricks. But no, it was not Scott Steiner. Don't talk during the pouch inspection. Wasn't Braun Breaker. Dude, again, that would be awesome. Wow. But what's equally awesome is this. When you go to a vet, you have a 50-50 chance they're a genetic freak, and they're not normal. See, if you take Oliver to the vet... See, normally if you take your cat to the vet, you got a 50-50 chance that they're not gonna have an issue. But Oliver's a genetic freak, and he's not normal. So he's got a 25% at best at getting sick. The salmon pants are crazy, dude. I mean, like, I feel like we need to, change his attire around once we get to WrestleMania. But the question is, what is that WrestleMania attire going to look like? Also, these belts look pretty good. Honestly, like, usually they look like toy belts in these in these early wrestling games in the 6th generation. But these look pretty good. That looks nothing like Randy. I disagree. I think this looks kind of like how he looked like back in the day. Yeah, his face is rounded out, but he's gotten older since then. You know? Hey, Egg. It must feel pretty good to hold a title belt for the first time, right? Hold on. We need goddamn music. My new obsession, Cookie Clicker. You know it, killer! I always dreamed of the day that I'd earn WWE hardware. And now it's finally here. There's nothing I wouldn't have done to win it, and there's nothing I won't do to keep it. That's right, because it's great to be the champ. I know we'll be tag champs for a long time, as long as you hold up your part of the bargain. My part of the bargain? Right. Now come on, champ. We've got a title defense coming up next. Dude, who are we defending against? After the war we went with, after the war that we waged with the goddamn Basham brothers, who could possibly be next? I dread the thought, honestly. Garrison Cade and goddamn Mark Jindrak. Wait, hold on. Is it Garrison Cade and who else? Because I'm pretty sure Mark Jindrak's his partner that... No! Rhino! Dude, who the fuck is Rhino's tag partner? Why couldn't it be Val Venus? Dude, if it was Val Venus, I would have jumped off a cliff. Dude, if that shit was Val Venus, I would be off this mortal coil forever. Also, he's missing, like, his, spider tattoo. Like, the spider web tattoo. Rhino. Also, Rhino made it back to prime time. Hold on, tag entrance. I didn't realize that you could have championship entrances in this game. Dude, he is now the bone cracker for fucking real. He proved it last night at Unforgiven when he won the tag strats with Randy Orton after Doug Basham or Danny Basham, whichever one, ate one RKO and then decided to call it a night. John Cena versus Egg when I can recreate them in goddamn modern 2K, I guess. Dude, why couldn't I just come out? Why couldn't I have just came out wearing the belt? Oh, I see why. Because they didn't want to have it set on fire. Okay, are we gonna get the pyro? 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 Nah, does he not get the pyro in this game? Also, Batista's still in the Titantron. You might want to take him out, dude. Replace him with Egg. I'm the new Batista. I guess. Evolution is a mystery with the Egg on the scene. I mean, now you have a chicken and egg situation here, right? Would you, dude, with the introduction of an egg, evolution definitely does become more of a mystery. Man. Okay, cool. Alright. So, like, I guess Rhino and Garrison Cade just get a title shot here. I don't know why. Wait, chat, hold on. Hold on. You know what would be sick as fuck? Matching gear. I think it would be sick as fuck if we had matching gear. I think we need to call a mulligan. This right here is the new evolution of the egg. Okay? I didn't even mean to say the new evolution of Egg when he's in evolution. Hold on. We need matching gear. Give me just a second here. Appearance. Body. Outerwear? Wait. Color. We need, like, the Randy Orton, like, light blue that he's got going on. Where's the light blue that... Dude, where's that crazy light blue you got going on there? Dude, that's awesome. Wow. No way. Dude, I can put like extra thing. No way. Hold on. Dude, I can save extra tires in this? That's insane. That's crazy. Hold on. Because if that's the case, then we gotta do something new here. We gotta do something different here. Body. I need to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. Well, it's funny you say that, because I think that's what would happen if we went on SmackDown. Like, we were on SmackDown, it probably would have turned out that way, but we're on Raw instead. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna end off with Triple H. I'm not so sure. I would need to check. Default. Okay. There you go. You got that fucking matching gear going on. It's great. Boil. Wait. Oh. Oh, I thought you said something about, like, we need to boil The Undertaker. That'd be sick as fuck. When you do an egg movement, it would just be chat spamming egg emojis. Dude, do we need, like, the boiler section? Oh, no, dude, that's his goddamn, name, or rather, like, that's, like, his goddamn, that's, like, his goddamn faction, or rather, like, fandom name, the Boilers. All the little boilers in the audience. His outfit makes him look like a 7th. Oh, I hate that. I don't like that he looks like Disco Inferno. Alright, color. So he had, like, white gear, right? I think that's pretty good. Alright, we need to get the piss stain off. Or wait. Wait, is the piss stain, like, important? Do we need to keep the piss stain? Because now it just looks, like, more embarrassing. You know what? I think we keep the piss stain. White. Yeah, we gotta keep the piss stain, chat. I think that's really important. Zap! With the Lawn Boys, girls, NBs, and AGs. Hello there, my friend. Welcome on in to tonight's Lawn Boy Club meeting. I hope you're having a fun night on your end. I hope you did have a fun night in terms of your stream. What did you end up doing? And did you have fun with it? We're over here creating a big old goddamn the minds you heard, and you decided to answer the call. Well, hey, that's fucking awesome, friend. I hope you had fun. Yeah, for those of you who are unaware, my name's GirafaStev. I'm the president of the Lawn Boy Club. I'm a very large enjoyer of games, wrestling, other hyperfixations, and my sneaky cats. We play a lot of wrestling games on here. Really. Shitload of them, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. We also do RPGs, strategy games, custom world building. If all of that sounds fantastic to you, I would really appreciate a follow. That would be really, really cool of you. Alright, I'm pretty sure that this... Oh, and also, if you need to raid and run... Zep. I'm a giraffe. I thought you were gonna say, if you are not aware, I'm a giraffe and spat out my water. Dude, that's like the one meme of the kid with his, like, hands on his heads. I love that. GirafaStev has betrayed us all. As it turns out, he is, in fact, a giraffe. I know.
If you want to step up to play D, bring it on!
Alright, time to step up to Punchy. Let's do it. Listen, we already saw the cutscene. We don't need to see it a second time. We don't need to see it a second time. We already fucking saw it. Alright? But now we have matching gear. Look at that. Jesus, kind of. We kind of have matching gear. Dude, oddly, this color combination makes him look even more sexy than he used to. Those are some lips, holy dude. Dude, they're fish lips. They're crazy. They're the craziest. Even crazier seeing GirafaStev out here. No. We already did the thing. Lips so long, their throughput can be measured. They're so long, you would think they belong to a fish. Okay. But our friend here, Eghachi, or Egg as we've come to call him, he does in fact drop on the deck and he does flop like a fish. But we'll see if that's enough to win this match. I am not losing to like worst character in the game, GirafaStev. There's no way. There's no shot. You know what? I'll say this. At the very least, we're fighting champions. You cannot say we're not fighting champions, you know? Because we're out here just giving title matches away literally like less than probably 24 hours after winning the titles. Oh my goodness gracious. They constantly get in the way. Destruction. Ow. Nice. I'm not done with you yet, Terry. Hey man, what are you doing? Look who's in the ring right now. Get him out of here. What the?
Breaking news, Egg is gonna turn on Triple H and challenge him for the title at WrestleMania. More on this story as it develops.
Do I think that would be an incredible story? I don't know about you. Ah! Dude! Okay, I was a little scared that, like, Randy was gonna goddamn, like, knock him out of his goddamn state there. Thank you for the bit, Zep. I appreciate it. I appreciate- Ow! What the fuck? $1. Thank you for the $1. Dude, thank you for the 100 bits. Dude, that's literally pennies on the dollar. Support the Longboy Club today for just pennies on the dollar. Ah! Destruction. Or you'll ensure mass destruction. Baby. Dude, how do I already have yellow body? Okay, dude, I thought that, like, Rhino was gonna do, like, a tope suicida. I literally thought he was gonna hit the tope. That's crazy. Okay, Randy, Triple H has a lot of faith in you, so you know what? We did win the titles after a lot of trying. Chat, do you think that I should... Chat, do you think that we would have won that match easier if I stuck with Batista? I say that like I had a choice in the matter, but I personally feel like if... What came first, the animal or the egg? Well, the answer is that they came together to form Animal Egg, and then they became an unstoppable tag team. You know? That right there is the real answer. Randy! Hit him! Stop playing to the crowd, you dummy! Only one. Hit the shit! Ah! Hit him! Hit him with your thing! Wait, did you hit it? I can't tell! I can't tell! Listen, man, I'm biased against Randy Orton because, you know, me and Batista, we had something, man. I don't even want to fight him. If he comes up, I'm gonna try to apologize to him. Say, hey, I'm gonna relinquish my half of the tag team titles, so you and I, we go after them both together, brother. Because did you see how many times the fucking bastards kicked our ass? That was all because of Randy.
1, 2.
That shit was all Randy. Ow. Raging on Randy Orton. I mean, we had a pretty killer feud with goddamn, Val Venus and Lance Storm, dude. We had a pretty killer feud. I mean, yeah, 2 of the 3 matches ended in DQ. But, like, listen, that was part of the storytelling, brother. Can I leave the ring, please? Or am I just gonna be stuck here?
1, 2.
Dude, I think I'm stuck. I literally can't move, chat. I'm stuck here. I'm observing. I'm scouting Randy Orton to see if they can stack up to Batista. No! That was me throwing a tantrum over the fact that we didn't win it with that. Fuck you, Garrison Cade. Fuck you, Randy. You still haven't earned my respect. Frankly, dude, you still have not earned my respect. You're gonna need to do a lot of work. Ugh, get fucked. Randy scores some fucking pins. Fucking! No way! Dude! Dude, the electric chair into the neck breaker, okay? Okay, we're getting with the fucking program. I see you, Randall. I see you and I see your jib. Wait, are there no countouts here? Dude, this match is completely broken down. We're just causing them to waste their goddamn specials. I got Rhino, dude. I know him very well. Anyone who's watched the A show, Sunday Night Heat, knows just how well I've got Rhino scouted. Count it, ref! Ah, I kicked out. No. Damn it. No! Randall! don't know, maybe I'm the weak link. Now that I think about it. No, Seth, thank you very much for the 101 bits. That was really cool of you. All right, Randy, you got him. No. Dude, I fucking wasted my shit. Ow! Rhino! Oh! Randy, hit it! You still have your special! Ah, yeah! Ow! Ow! Damn it! No! The Johnny Test whip crack sounds return! Ooh, nice tandem offense, Randy. That right there's the real shit. Ow! Okay, never mind. Fuck you. I miss Batista. Batista would never do that to me, man. Oh, Randy. You gotta hit that RKO, brother. I can only pound on Rhino for so long. Okay, fine. You know what? I understand. Ow!
Break!
Dude, Cade and Orton both have their SIGs going. No! What? Okay, great. No way. Oh, he got him with the suplex. Oh, no. No! Ref, no, look at Rhino. Come on! Randy, tag me in. I got you, brother. Oh! Oh, drop tall hold. Michinoku driver! Nice.
Break!
Dude, are you kidding me? Because I don't know how to call them in to, like, do, like, spots where they, like, knock the other guy off the rope. It's just shoot now, brother. Okay, that's the finish. No, no way. I would have killed... Dude, I would have shot bricks. That's crazy. What? Hey, Randy! I'm sorry? What the fuck is your problem, brother? I'm sorry. What is your problem? Batista would have never done that. You are his problem. What do you mean? We're the tag champs. Wait, do I press, like, down on the stick and that's what calls him in? Dude, Garrison Cade has momentum. This shit sucks. Fine, you know what? Eat this. No way, that shit was not gonna work. Eat my goddamn pile driver, you dumbass. Alright, fine. You know what, Randy? Ow! No. No. It's not going down like that. Randy, get in there and do your thing. Will you get in the ring, you fucking dingus? Nice. Ah, Rhino, you fucking dingus. Fine, you know what? My favorite part about Randy is that he doesn't come in when I really need him to. It's my favorite part of his... It's my favorite part of this whole dynamic. Tag in, you fucking dingus! No! No! Dude, he doesn't want to tag in so bad, I'm literally dragging him across the ring. Come on, Randy, hit him with the RKO! Hit him with the move! No! No, that is not the move. Ow! That is... No. That right there is not the move. Okay, I'm giving you an opportunity to kick out Randy. Randy, please. I'm giving you this right here, dude. If you don't clutch this right now, I swear to God, I'm gonna trade you in for the Bastions. No way. 1, 2. Ooh! Nice. I caught him in the goddamn, Randy with the RKO! Dude, he's gonna need another one because the referee was too distracted by me! And Rhino! Fine, you know what?
Hello, Mario.
Sekro Sushi, hello! How are you doing tonight? Welcome on into tonight's Long Boy Club meeting. I'm trying my best to make this work here with Randy Orton. But it's a little hard. Because he doesn't want to keep up his end of the bargain. Is that really his finish? Okay. What the? Urgh. Yeah, hi Sushi, how you doing tonight? Oh, did you have a good day? Thank you for making it to tonight's Long Boy Club meeting, where Randy is getting the shit kicked out of him by Garrison Cade. And he keeps readying up these goddamn RKOs, and they're just not hit. They're hitting! RKO!
1,
No, I wasn't fast enough. Fine, you know what, Rhino? I just need to keep you, like... I need to keep you, like, occupied. Ow! Ref, stop! Stop running the goddamn international! You need to stop running the fucking international and pay attention to the match. Don't you dare disqualify us, Randy. Like you did at the pay-per-view for one... like one of the few times that we friggin' tried to do the match. No! No way! Dude, I thought Rhino was gonna disqualify himself. This game has showed us that the AI can be kinda nuts sometimes. Ow. No. Wait. Wait, did the ref see that? Hold on. AI, the bane of humanity. Special conditions, none. What? I'm sorry. But that makes... Dude! Dude, the ref is crazy. Oh, Randy! Randy, you might just be cracked, dude. Oh, it's on now. Clobber him with chairs. Dude, I'm getting pinned in the ring, but neither of us are the legal man. Clobber him with chairs. Thank you, I will use those chairs specifically. I love tag team wrestling! Dude, we've gone from not being able to hit my, like, outside moves to being able to hit them, but I hit the wrong fucking guy. Eat my Michinoku driver. Eat another Michinoku driver. Eat another one, you fucking dingus. RKO on the outside. Okay, we need to get him back in the ring, Randy. I love watching tag team wrestling. WWE folks when they watch AEW. A few years ago, that would have been true. But it still has some really good matches in there. Funnily enough, the women's tag team wrestling is better than the men's tag team wrestling right now. A lot of that does have to do with, you know, the women's chants being really good. Like, Willow and Harley are just incredibly likable all the time. Dude, we are fucking them up sideways with all of these goddamn RKOs. Look at that! Holy shit! Dude. Do I love the splatter sound effect? Blood for the blood god, blood for the blood god, blood for the blood god. And, dude, me and my little BB feet. No! Count it, ref! Stop talking to goddamn Rhino and do it! EC dub, dude. No! Dude, we're never gonna win this shit. No. One count! He's paid off for their side! Dude, the referee saw the disrespect that friggin' Batista got. And he was like, yeah, it's like, no. Ow! Wow! Wow! What a match to kick us off here. He's refusing to evolve. He's refusing to evolve. Much like Egg right here. He's refusing to evolve. Randy, please, I need you to freaking clutch this, dude. I need you to sink this in, dude. No! No!
1, 2.
No way! He got it! No! Okay. By the way, Egg with a weird Miami Vice fit. Excuse you? That is his tag team getup. We have matching gear now. We're tag champs, so we need matching gear. Alright, Randy, get him! Yeah! Holy shit!
1, 2.
No way! Garrison Cade! Wow! Okay, you know what? Randy's making a believer out of me. Dude, why are these tag team matches so hard? I'm over here putting Rhino on the shelf forever. Get him! No! Kick out, Randy. I'm buying you some time, brother. I'm buying you some fucking time. Dude, why are they like the reversal kings? Like it has to be you pinning, not your partner. No. I'm pretty sure that Randall can get the pin. If he wants to get the pin. I don't think there's any DQs, chat.
1, 2.
How? How is this possible? Dude, this right here is an AEW tag match, even though jobbers look good. Wow. Get him! That's it!
1, 2.
What the fuck? Okay, fine, you know what? Chat, I don't know how to say this, but I have the lowest Griffin fit. Get him! Nice.
Break.
I'm surprised you're not clobbering Cade then. Okay, fine. You know what? It needs that egg Hachi touch. I see that egg has gotten far. Yeah, now he has like a giant Lois Griffin fit. It's crazy. That's it.
3.
Ah, fucking kick out at 3.1. Dude, I gotta sit here. Dude, I'm the tag champ. I gotta sit here and make Garrison fucking Cade look strong. What kind of bullshit did you say backstage? You were like, yeah, you know that egg Hachi? I'm kicking out at 3.1, dude. That almost works for me, brother. Just one little thing. Also, hi, Patootie. How are you doing tonight? Did you have a nice day? I'm glad you can make it to tonight's Long Boy Club meeting. Also, Sushi, I've been doing pretty good. No, it's the whip crackers! They're back! Ah! Dude, I love... Dude, their goddamn, like, sneaky, like, little, like, stealth approach was crazy. The whip crackers have returned to Monday Night Raw. Dude, like, their little, like, sneaky animation there. I've never seen that in a wrestling game before. That was awesome. Wow. Doug and Danny Basham. Somehow, the whip crackers have returned.
Hello, Mario.
looks into the camera. Somehow, the whip crackers returned. Oh heck, the Basham Bros. I see that Egg has gotten far. Yeah, he's a tag champ now, dude. Sushi, I don't know if I ever asked you, but what's your experience with wrestling, if I may ask? Were the Bashams ever this over? LOL. No, but they put on like a clinic, 4 clinics in the last stream with Randy Orton and Agachi right here, you know? So I guess in the extended Giraverse, they're like world eaters. Doug and Danny Basham, could you please tell us what we just saw out there in the ring and your motivation for doing it? What did you see? You saw Evolution finally put in their proper place. That's what you saw. They've got our belts, and we want that back. It's true they have the belts, but they did win them fair and square in the middle of the ring last week and... What? Anyone that doesn't like the Bashams gets cracked! Bashams versus Evolution should have happened at WrestleMania. It's like this. Evolution, the message has been set, and it's loud and clear. We want a shot at winning our belts back. Until we get it, you can expect more surprises, like the one you got tonight. Either we get a rematch, or you better watch your back, cause it's likely to get slapped by the whip crackers. Doug and Danny Basham. Wow. Dude, that's crazy. Dude, I wasn't expecting the goddamn whip crack sound effect there just in a promo. Imagine you were playing this with, like, no music, and then that just came on, right? That would have scared the shit out of you. The Basham versus New Day would get canceled so fast. Yeah, because they'd be whipping on those bootios, dude. Dude, it's a match made in heaven. The whip crackers crack the whip on the New Day and their booties, and their bootios. That's their whole goddamn thing, you know? Dude, there's lots of ass and lots of ass being whacked. Also, hi, Dads. Welcome to tonight's Long Boy Club meeting. Hope you're doing well. Dude, I will never doubt the Bashams again. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Anyway, what did I put that into? I feel like durability needs to go up. fucking crop top shirt is insane. Wow. Also being the Whip Crackers versus a fully black tag team just feels eck. No, we're not the Whip Crackers. They're the Whip Crackers, you know? We are Evolution. They're the Whip Crackers. How's it going, champ? Listen, I talked to Eric Bischoff this morning, and we agreed that we'd start booking you in more one-on-one matches. So that we can get Evolution in line for even more title gold. You're gonna fly solo tonight because Randy was hurt during last week's attack by the Bashams. Retire already, you old ass. Oh yeah, true. Hashtag cancel the Bashams. Dude, hashtag Bashams be gone. More like. Dude, if a hashtag is gonna catch on, you need it to like be catchy. It needs to be like, it's gotta have alliteration. Bashams be gone is money.
It's almost time for a 2.5 minute Cheetos break, my dudes.
But here's the good news. You're gonna face one of those punks that put Randy out of commission. Danny Basham. Make sure you put a real horn on them because as a member of Evolution, you always need to announce your presence with authority. Woo! No way, bash the Fashions. Now that's bars, brother. I love that. That right there is bars. God damn it, dude. They're the Whip Cracker. One half of the Whip Crackers. Danny Basham. Dude, the Whip Crack sound effects in this are golden. Why is Flair built like Hardcore Holly? Everyone is built like a brick shithouse in this game. Like, they're like built... I mean, it's a common thing in these wrestling games, but they're built usually better than they are in real life. Dude, without the Whip Crack sound effects, you would never know that they're the Whip Crackers. See Mark Henry and Kane in SVR07. Dude, see goddamn Stone Cold Steve Austin in like SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 onwards. He was ripped. He was more ripped in 2012 than he was at any point in 1997. That's like straight edge Steve Austin. That shit is like straight edge Steve Austin. Yeah, but Mark Henry had visible abs. No, he did. His fucking singlet was so tight, man. That singlet was tighter than his fucking pectorals in that game. It was tighter than Randy's pecs are right now. Not as in right now in this game, but like in the present day right now. You know? Because, like, I'm pretty sure Styles has gotten off of the Styles serum. But Randy Orton is built like a brick shithouse. No one has tighter pecs in the game. It's honestly insane. Okay. Alright, let's get some music in here. So after the drubbing that we got from the Whip Crackers, I feel that we need to underestimate them at our own peril. So we need the music. They say it like, well, hey, Kachi, you need to win us the Intercontinental Championship. Woo! But it's like, Ric Flair, what are you doing, man? Shouldn't that be like your wheelhouse? Or are we not doing that? Compared to Triple H, who's hiding his concave pecs in the 2K cover. I know that the popular thing right now is to say that Triple H is insecure. But if anything, that cover just kind of shows it, you know? Why does Ric Flair sound like Dusty Rhodes for a second? Because everyone from those days just makes you think of goddamn, makes you think of Dusty Rhodes. Also, I'm probably gonna reset the game here after this match. My totally legit GameCube is slowing down a little bit. I don't know if it's because I'm used to the tag matches going like 100 miles an hour, but now the game feels slow. He's usually deathly mute in other games.
2, 3.
No way! Get out of here, man! Danny Basham, don't you fucking sift me, man! Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. Give me so much shit at Unforgiven, and you go down like that? Come on!
It's almost time for a 2.5-minute Cheetos break, my dudes.
God damn it. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm gonna just go to an ad right now because I need to cool off. Meanwhile, I'm gonna reset
it's break
the game.
time. Where the heck's the Cheetos, my dudes?
Raw rolls on after this, I guess.
Final Doom from Williams is a game that chews you up and spits you out. Like any Doom game, Final Doom is invincible, indestructible, impossible, impenetrable. We're going to try to be clever for the rest of this review. Don't have a cow once you figure out what
The passives are really strong in
Just more of the
numbers.
same old Doom
Obviously.
action that has spawned countless
I fucking
clones
guess,
in the
man,
video
because
game
wow.
industry. The same Doom enemies that inhabited all the other Doom games of this Doom series are also in this Doom game.
Dude, am I gonna turn on Randy? Dude, am I
Bloody
also gonna
games
turn
with more
on
Doom
Randy
gunshots
Orton?
in 1 minute than we would otherwise hear in a lifetime. We're sick of all the Doom groans of the dead demons and the people you must shoot in the game. Doom it? These games make you Doom crazy, especially since they're so Doom hard. Normally, challenge is good, but not in this Doom game. Hardcore Doomers will be in Doom Nirvana. The game is actually 3 games in 1. Master levels from the internet, Plutonia, and TNT. All are extremely difficult. Hidden in the instruction booklet is a password that gives you all of the game's weapons. But even with that little gem, you will fail miserably. Don't worry, we're not going to Doom Williams, but let's just say it's time to put this series to rest. Of course, we may end up eating crow once Doom 64 comes out.
So I want you to do me a favor, you gotta take out Randy, I ran the simulations again, and as it turns out, he's kind of a piece of shit,
If Williams sees this segment, they will either A, laugh at all the Doom,
if you want to get anywhere in this business,
C,
you gotta follow the simulation.
D, not do one Doom thing.
It knows all. It was because we followed the simulation that you have the tag team belts right now. But now the simulations are saying if you want the Intercontinental Championship or the fucking light heavyweight championship, because obviously you are a light heavyweight. I mean, look at you. You stack of dimes. You gotta take out Killer, as you call
him. Oh, excuse me, we're back, my dudes.
Welcome back to Raw. Okay, cool. Prime member of Evolution? Oh no. I want to be a prime member of anything. I don't want to be prime. Please. I don't want what in my system. Actually, now that I think about it, it might be a little too late for that. Handicapped? No. No! Dude, come on. Fine, you know. Give me just a second. Gentlemen, I called you here to inform you that new Tag Team Chains Evolution have a title defense tonight against Chris Jericho and Edge. You know, Eric, I want to go, but I still can't. My leg is still hurt from the beatdown the Bastions gave me a couple weeks ago. I go in there tonight with Egg, but I can't because I already have a triple threat match tonight. A triple threat match to decide the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm sure Ric Flair wouldn't mind teaming up with Egg for this match, but he's away this week on family business. Well, I've got an arena full of paying customers and a live national TV audience expecting this match. If it can't go on, then we'll have to find the next best thing. So tonight, it's going to be Jericho and Edge against Egg and a partner of his choice. Whoa, 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 I'm his partner. I'm the tag team champions. He doesn't need any other partners. He's right. Egg represents Evolution, the most dominating force in the WWE today. We don't need anybody else. In fact, Egg can take on both those guys by himself. I saw it in the simulation. Triple H! Let me get this straight. Egg is going to wrestle a handicap match against both Edge and Jericho at the same time. That is what a handicap match is, Bischoff. You're damn right. He's part of Evolution. Okay then, that's tonight. I don't even get a say? Just one thing, Eric. If Egg goes out there and blows it, I don't lose my belt, right? I mean, it's not an official tag team match, right? Why should my belt be on the line? No, don't worry, Randy. You won't lose your belt. This match is now a special attraction handicap match, not a tag team title bout. You can't lose your title. What the fuck? Dude. What? I don't even get a say in this? What the fuck, dude? You know what? I don't really want these tag belts now that I think about it. I think that you guys could take on Edge and Jericho. Jericho and his protege, Edge. And Shelton Benjamin with his stretched out goddamn name card there. Look at that. He's stealing my beat. Bar for bar, word for word. My flow has been stolen. God damn it. You know who wouldn't have done this? You know who wouldn't have gotten hurt? I don't even need to tell you. You know, chat. You know who wouldn't have gotten hurt. But no, I just had to betray him, huh? I just had to betray him at Triple H's behest because of his stupid goddamn simulations. But the World Heavyweight Championship? You were just following orders, man. Yeah, and I shouldn't have. Because then maybe I would still have Batista here and he wouldn't be injured. He's the World Heavyweight Champion as Chris Jericho. Can I just say that the belts look really good in this game? Like, yeah, the metal plates are very much just 2D graphics, but the leather is really nicely detailed. And they're nice and big, you know? It doesn't feel like they're like the toy belts. Does the belt look like the classic heavyweight version and not just the WWE? Like its size? I didn't realize there was a side difference between the World Heavyweight Championship and the WCW title. Alright, well, at least my tag titles are not on the line. Well, that right there gives me an idea. Do I want to win this match? I don't really think I care at this point. Like, my tag partner is apparently out injured because he has big hurty leg. I betrayed my old tag team partner for no goddamn reason. And Triple H spoke on my behalf, saying, he doesn't need a tag partner. The simulations showed great results. I don't think you have much of a choice, and I'm not even doing a bit. Let's see. Let's see. I would like to see if I can, like, get DQ'd in this match. Like, what happens if I just go out and get a chair and throw this shit? What happens if I just go out there and get a chair and then throw this shit? That's my question. Hold on. Oh, fuck. Ah! Ah! Stop! Stop! Edge being naked as always. Guys, please. No. So wait. Can they use this? No way! I mean, they're not using it. You're Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam 2005ing it? Dude, when in doubt, running away is a great tactic, okay? I just spend most of the match running away. I need to see if I could get DQ'd with this. I mean, listen, neither Edge or Jericho are using it. So that right there tells me that it is not legal. But I'm not gonna know for sure until I hit him with it. Wait, is that good? No, I need to actually win it? More treating it like a comedy match. I mean, fuck it, man, you know? I don't have my friggin' partner here, so we're gonna house show this bullshit. This is very unserious now. Wait, how are we doing on ad time? Okay, we're doing alright. I can keep going. Honestly, I thought the match would be worse. It'd be a handicap tornado. Yeah, that's something at least. At least it's like, you know, it's still just like a normal tag match. It's just, I don't have a partner. Which, you know, given how much of a choke meister Randy Orton has proven himself to be, this might be preferred. I am the tag team champions. I have both belts. Like, what happens if, like... like, I'm half expecting the story to, like, take a turn where it's like... Ugh... Egg Hachi, you need to take the belts, both of them, both of these belts, for yourself, brother. And Egg Hachi's like, oh, fuck yeah. Dude, I don't know how I'm gonna beat Jericho here. He's like insanely like stronger than I am. He's insanely more strong than me. I'm like actually like concerned that I might not be. Jesus Christ. Okay, you know what? No, maybe if they DQ themselves, then it'll be fine. It'll be okay. So like, So, like, can they, like, see... Can they see if I'm the one that's... Can they see if I'm the one that's attacking them? Or no? No, I hope everyone is doing well in chat tonight. Hopefully, they're hoping that, you know, y'all haven't completely abandoned your promises for the new year yet. We are in February, and I have somehow still made it more consistent to, you know, go to the gym at least twice a week and eat more protein-filled foods. The only thing I've really kind of noted so far is just how fucking expensive eating like high protein food is, you know? Like for me, the taste doesn't really like bother me at all, you know? What does bother me is how fucking expensive it is. And how much deception there is in just the idea of like, you know, like all of these high protein snack foods on the market right now. No, not the lion tamer. Use wrenching on the back. Christ. Okay, I do not need Jericho to friggin' counter that again. Dude, already red body. Dude, if I could get a pinfall on the World Heavyweight Champion, that would be sick as fuck. Hey, you! Referee, get him out of here. But no, like, what I mean by, you know, just there being a lot of deception in that market is that a lot of like really like big like snack brands are making like high protein stuff into a bit of a fad. Like you got brands like Pop-Tarts, right? They have goddamn like high protein Pop-Tarts now, and they're said to have like double the protein in them. But actually what you get is 10 grams of protein for a 2-pack of Pop-Tarts. So not like
1, 2.
Oh shit. No. Wait, Pop-Tarts is a high protein version? I mean, that's what the box says, but listen. When I say high protein, I mean that in the sense of like you go from 5 grams per pouch to 10, which is not that much really. So like not only are you not really getting that much, but you're also getting fucked over in the sugar department too. Because, you know, it's really no secret that, you know, Pop-Tarts have a lot of sugar. That's kind of their thing. Like, that's kind of their shtick, you know? Ow. Fuck. Dude, if I lose to that. But no, I want you to, like, take a guess. LOL, why did you do that? I didn't mean to. Dude, I thought I was gonna do a springboard. Dude, literally, I thought I was gonna do springboard. Ah! It's a good thing it's on the outside. It's a very good thing that's on the outside. Wow. No! Let me back in, you fucking dingus! Dude, if I get pinned, that's gonna be it. It doesn't matter what it is. I need to make this next one count. No! Okay, good. No. No. Come on. Alright, in the piece de la resistance. Ah! Dude, I'm not trying to do suicidas. I'm trying to, like... God damn it. I'm not trying to do suicidas. I'm trying to knock him off the fucking... I'm trying to knock him off of the goddamn, apron. Why would I want to do a fucking suicida on a guy that's not in the ring? Fuck! No! No! No, I need this win on the world champ, dude. Please. Please.
Break!
I'm gonna make you wait. Dude, I'm gonna make you waste that shit, you bitch. Waste it. Eat my little fucking dingus hands. Oh, shit. Hold on. Is Vacant Invisible Man in the ring with you? Dude, I wish. That would be sick as fuck. No! Eat my Vichinoku driver, bitch! Stop fucking doing that! Stop fucking doing that. I swear I'm not doing a bit. Are you self-sat? No, I'm not! I'm not! I genuinely keep thinking that I'm gonna do one thing and then I just don't do it. No!
1, 2!
Ah, no way! I'm not, dude, I'm not farming, I'm just ass. Malicious compliance with evolution is crazy. I love that.
Break!
I'm not farming, I'm just ass. Ow. No, please. I'm trying to get to a good point so I can, like, fucking... No! 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 Ow! Ow! No! Ow! 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 No! I'm not losing to you. Ow, I have internal bleeding. Fuck. Please, rope break. No!
2!
My hair! My hair! Okay. Okay. No. No.
Break!
No. Okay. He's good. Man, dude, I wish I was wrestling Christian right now. Okay, do not run up to him. Just fucking hit him right there. No. Fucking pin him!
1, 2.
No way! I need to pin the world champion! You're not special, Jericho! He reversed it! He reversed the Michinoku driver! Get up! Hey, Kaji. This could be the biggest win of your career, dude. You could just pin the world champion right here tonight, and I don't know what town we're in, but it's a town. For absolute certainty, it is a town that you can go to. Oh, you know what? One more for you. No. The town of Raw is getting rocked here, baby.
Hello, Mario.
Hi, Dan. How are you doing? Hopefully you had a good day. Welcome to tonight's Love Boy Club meeting. Fuck! Dude, I'm about to kill you. I am going to fucking end you, dude. No. Waste it. Waste it. Waste it. Waste it. Waste it. Wasted. Cool. Damn it. Edge is completely just cock blocking me this entire thing. Intrusive thoughts telling you to waste Edge. Dude, I'm gonna slime this man for real. Ow. No. 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 Rope break. Holy shit. No, you're not gonna be fucking Christian on me, man. I got your fucking... I got your dog right here, man. No! Okay, okay, okay. Dude. Dude, why is every match in this so hard? You're no-selling my Michinoku drivers, just like Christian did! You motherfucker! Michinoku driver! Sell my moves! Yes, the difficulty is as low as it's gonna go.
Break. Break.
Again! One more! When he was white Liger. No. No! No! Okay, 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 okay. Jericho, you and your protege Edge will not stop my rise. Dude, White Liger's an incredible shout. Wow. No. Dude, we're just selling... Dude, we're just no-selling each other's offense. This is insane.
Break!
We're just completely no-selling each other's shit. No respect in this ring. No way! Strong style wrestling. Wow. Dude, more blood for the blood god. Even more blood for the blood god. Fine, you know what? Get up, you bitch. Michinoku driver. Again. Will you stay down? Michinoku driver again. God damn it. Dude, Jericho cannot be this hard. That's insane. I really would like to just get the DQ'd, but I can't. I need to actually, like, play the game here. Edge, you dumbass! You dumbass, Edge! You dumbass! Wow! Edge, you dumbass! You dumbass! you idiot! Stupid idiot! And with that, Hachi got a pin on the world champion. Wow. With that,
He's a smart man. How dare you?
He's a very smart and compassionate man. Lois Griffin looking ass. Although I think you're just about ready for more solo work, Raw has been getting great heat from the tag division recently. That's heat. So we need you and your partner to defend the belts for a little while longer. That's fine, I guess. Being one half the tag team champions is cool and all. But what I really want is to make my mark at WWE as a world champion. I hear you. I promise. No, I guarantee that you'll see some singles action soon. In fact, I'll even let you pick your next singles opponent when the time comes. Sure you will. Either that or you'll let Triple H come in and pick for me. Asshole. Wow. Dude, why is every tag match in this game like a fight for your life? I really hope the recent batch of matches isn't gonna be a constant game of attrition. Dude, the singles matches are like pretty cut and dry, but the tag matches are really where this game like enters just like a fucking free fall. It's insane how hard it becomes. Wow. Speaking of Jericho, fans seem pretty pissed that Jericho did show up at the Royal Rumble. I mean, why? Listen. I've said before and I'll say it again. If Jericho shows up at WWE, I will shrug the largest of shrugs. Because he has not been good for like 3 years, you know? Like, Jericho's not been good for 3 years. I'm only hoping he shows up in WWE so he's not in AEW. That's kind of where I'm at, too. Because, like, people are like, oh, well, why didn't Jericho come back? I'm like, dude, do you want him to come back? I mean, like, I'm super indifferent over the idea of him going anywhere right now. Because he spent just, like, the last 3 years in AEW just getting increasing amounts of go-away heat. Alistair at the Royal Rumble in general was a huge dud. In what way? Because I only saw half of it, and I liked the WWE title match. The idea of Roman winning the Rumble is the opposite of exciting to me. You know? I guess Liv Morgan winning is kind of neat. Spoiler heavy too, and not even by the fans. Wait, spoiler heavy? What do you mean by that? And the show happened, like, you know, a while ago. So, a little hard to spoil it now, isn't it? Or am I missing the point of what you're saying? WWE kept accidentally leaking results, things that happen at it. Oh, like Will Hobbs debuting there. Oh, I'm sorry, Royce Keys. Rematch with the Bash. No! God damn it, we gotta lock in, chat. Basher Brothers tonight on Raw. In a special tag team ladder match, you got a chance to win back the championship belts you lost just 1 month ago. That's right, it's been a month, 4 long weeks since we last held our championship belts, and that's far too long. Look, the bottom line is that we haven't had a legit shot at getting our belts back since Evolution. I fucking get it! You're about to get it, dude! Shut up! But guess what? We got our rematch tonight. In a ladder match, that's what we just said. So looks like their time as champs is over. I mean, frankly, you can have these belts, man. I mean, like, after that tag match, I fuck with you heavy, Bashims. I fuck with you and whatever it is you fuck with, okay? I'm all here for it. I think one factor was the lack of surprises and returns at the Rumble. Also, LA Knight constantly gets disrespected. I did hear that, you know, the Rumble was kind of mid. Didn't help that apparently, like, the arena setup kind of made the show look worse. In terms where it just looked like there weren't really that many people there. Which I realized that the conversation around, oh, like, attendance and stuff is thoroughly poisoned at this point. But I feel like for a Saudi show, it's one of those things where it's like, well, you know, WWE's getting all this money to, like, run these shows.
It's almost time for a 2.5-minute Cheetos
like,
break, my dudes.
No one's showing up for them? Like, that just seems weird to me. Also, hi, Zach. Welcome to tonight's Slumboy Club meeting. I think Triple H is more obsessed with creating viral moments for WWE than he should be booking good shows. I think if you want good wrestling nowadays, you need to not watch WWE. You need to find other promotions. And I'm not talking about, like, wrestling in the sense of, oh, like, you know, a good product, because a good product is largely subjective. I'm talking about wrestling that doesn't make me feel like I'm doing something bad for watching it. For me, the real kiss of death for WWE is just all the stuff they're doing. You know? You know, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. But that's what I'm doing. I just realized Akachi had a huge cake. You only just realized that? Dude, that ass is over easy. Alright? That ass is over easy. It is sunny side up. Ever since day one. I'm the bold cracker. But no, I would say Triple H, I guess, is more obsessed with creating viral moments and telling stories. But that's just kind of judging based on what I've kind of taken in from people I know who have been keeping up with the product more than me. Because it should probably come as no surprise, but I have almost no clue what's going on in WWE because, well, they are what they are, you know? They are the Disney of wrestling, and if you like that, then, you know, that's, you know, good for you. But they're the Disney of wrestling in, like, all the ways that Disney is Disney, you know? And that's not a compliment. Because while, you know, Disney can, you know, produce bangers sometimes, they are, at the end of the day, a large, unfeeling conglomerate that will do what they need to. God damn, Randy! Wow! Made them look like chumps, dude! Man, Randy heard all of the slander that I sent his way, and he was like, I bet!
Damn, our boy be carrying the entire bakery on his backside.
Dude, Randy heard that I was talking shit, and he stepped up to the plate. He's now... Dude, he was like, no, I'm the head of the bakery now, brother. I have the entire chicken coop right here. I have a whole Eggs Benedict right here, and I'm taking control of it. I don't really watch the product because I don't know, every time I did, one of two things happened, right? One, I felt worse for doing so, and two, I'm just like, this is not what I want out of wrestling anymore, you know? So yeah. Anyways. Well, you did it again. You and Randy showed those washed up punks who the real champs are. And even that gold still belongs right here with Evolution. That's right, Nature Boy. But I was hoping that I get into some solo matches soon, you know? That's what I'm here to tell you. Triple H wants you to know that he talked to Bischoff about that very subject. And he'll have more info about that next week. In the meantime, what do you say to hitting the town and showing the ladies where to find the gold and all the jewels that matter? We'll
it's
show
almost
this
time
town
for a 2.5
some
minute
style and
Cheetos break, my dudes.
Nature Boy style. Woo! I was about to say no music, but then the match was over. No. This is a great time for it. Dude, that's what I love about these, like, ladder matches in the old wrestling games. They can literally, like, end in 30 seconds. They can end in, like, less than a minute. It's so funny.
It's break time. Where the heck's the Cheetos, my dudes?
Raw rolls on after this.
It's no big surprise that IDOS is moving up the video game food chain, considering last year's mega hit Tomb Raider. The sequel uses the
No,
same
we're not
formula to
snoozing
great
that
success,
shit, brother.
with minor control
Fuck
changes
you, look
for
at the snow
sidestepping,
speeder.
and of course, all new worlds and vehicles. The game starts off with a peek
Wow.
at ancient China. A dragon attacks the Great Wall, and a soldier notices a dagger embedded in his chest. Oddly, removing the dagger results in the dragon's death. Weird. You play Lara Croft, complete with front-loaded anvils, searching for the dagger centuries later. Your path to the dagger will take you just about everywhere, and that snow speeder kicks a major you-know-what. Tomb Raider has slightly more action than exploration this time around, but you may not notice the difference. This is good, because that way everybody's happy. Obviously, we're giving Tomb Raider 2 a good review. We fully expected to do so. We knew the game would be great, and it is. And we've only just scratched the surface. In answer to Laura's
Hey Zach,
giant
thank you very
theories,
much
however,
for the
we have a
resub, bro.
challenge to IDOS.
22
In Tomb Raider
months.
3,
That's
create a storyline
fucking
in which
nuts.
Lara gets breast cancer.
that's
Imagine
nuts.
The drama
Thank you
of
so
a
much.
vulnerable Lara Croft, still persisting in her worldly adventures despite her illness. It needs fleshing out, no pun intended.
Also, is the audio
but we
good,
guarantee
guys?
The gaming world will
Ow!
be shocked, stunned, and moved at the effort to make Lara's character more meaningful. We love Lara, but it's about time the industry had a big shock for a change.
Ow.
It's no shock that Tomb Raider 2 is excellent. Everyone should buy it. Period. The end.
Why'd you do that, Devin? It was rude of you. Chalk this up to my own setup problems, but the video sounds a bit quiet. It was a bit quiet in the mix, yeah. But the problem with Gitsy is that the sound is inconsistent. Some of them will be very loud, others will be very quiet. So like each of them have like their own configurations. Maybe I need to turn that one up a little bit. But no, like, is the sound good? Is it like clear? Is it not like breaking up at all? Because my feedback is a little weird. I did not hear those sound effects for the resub voice.
Nom nom.
I wonder if
Oh,
that
excuse
was...
me, we're back, my dudes.
Hey, welcome back to Raw. Here, let's rerun that. Can I rerun it? Event feed.
For life.
There you go. There you go. That should fix it. Alright, cool. Well, I have my lowest fit here still. I'm pretty sure that we've done what we can here with the tag belts. So maybe it's time to drop them? I mean, that's kind of what it seems like. Kachi hands are tinier than a certain world leader's. Yeah, but he's infinitely more base than that world leader. And he's all about eggs. Meanwhile, the other one is all about shitting himself on live TV. Like, you can hear the poop exit the station. It's very funny. Anyways, choosing an opponent. Okay, so, like, do I actually get to choose an opponent? Or is Triple H gonna be like, I've run another... I don't know why I'm doing the Vince thing. I've run another simulation. I've got your opponent right here. Oh, no. Hey, Egg, I've got some news for you. As I promised, I got Bischoff to book you in some important singles matches within the next few weeks. That's awesome. Eric Bischoff said that as a reward for carrying the tag division, he let me pick my opponent when I got my first singles match. I've been thinking long and hard about it, so I'm gonna go tell him that I want to face... Don't you worry. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, Bischoff gave us a choice. And since you're a proud member of Evolution, I knew you'd choose Chris Benoit. So you got him tonight. But that's not the guy. I'm counting on you. We're all counting on you. Now get out there and show those peons that Evolution is the dominant force in WWE. In the lineup, did you see the whole lineup and did you recognize any of the people I drew cards for? No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't know besides my own car. Cross Bennett is here. Wow. With an oddly, like, baby-like face. And holy shit, those are like some crazy abs. Wow. Good theme, though. Unfortunate. He was extremely jacked. Yeah, he got, like, fucking... He, like, bulked up big. Because he'd be crippling everybody out here. Dude, you go to hell. You go to hell and you fucking die, alright? So wait, hold on. Are we just not gonna defend the World Tag Team Championship now? Like, the game audio isn't like cracking for you guys, right? It's not like bone cracking for you, right? Straight to the boiler room. Make sure you keep the key on you. Also, no. Okay, good. Why does Eggs theme sound like something from an 80s cop movie? It doesn't. This is very new metal. This would 100% be like on Knotfest in 2001. For fucking sure. I don't even know the band behind this, but with this music, they're for sure on Knotfest in some form or fashion. Here, I'm gonna do this. I named this music in the rotation Crossface. Okay. Yeah, like, Benoit, like, jacked up quite a bit, so. But finally, fucking some singles matches. I think, dude, we might actually be able to cook here a little bit. Battle of the Chris's. Benoit versus Jericho versus Masters. I feel like they had to have run that, like, on a house show loop at some point in the mid-2000s, right? Because, like, they would have both been in the company at the time, so. I'd hope so. You're fighting Chris Benoit. You know the US title of Jericho's Road to WrestleMania campaign? Yeah, you're treating it like that. Aw, man. The belt collector, Egg Hachi, dude. He's the fucking egg collector. Right now we have eggs over
Mario.
easy. Next, we're gonna get them hard-boiled. Hello, Big Gamer. Welcome to tonight's Longboy Club meeting. Did you have a good day today? Hopefully you did. I would love to hear about it. No, I was talking about protein Pop-Tarts earlier, right? So, like, Pop-Tarts in a 2-pack. If you eat both of them in the foil pack, you get 5 grams of protein, right? You get 5 grams of protein. However, if you get the protein ones, you get 10 grams per foil pack. Ooh. Which, to be perfectly honest, is not really that much. In fact, it's barely anything, really. Dang, it's only been 3 months. Yeah, fucking Tom, it feels like you've been here for like a year already. Thank you, though. Thank you, everyone, for following me for this long. I appreciate it a lot. What if you also ate the foil pack in the cardboard box? I mean, listen, that might be fiber, but I don't know about protein, brother. You're not gonna get jacked like Cross Bennett over here. You know? You'll never get jacked and lean like Cross Bennett is right here. But no, like, the light amount of protein isn't even, like, the biggest sin of the protein Pop-Tarts. The biggest sin is just how much sugar they still have, even with the added protein. Because generally, right, a 2-pack of Pop-Tarts, like a foil pack of them, that's like 42 grams of added sugar, I want to say, right? If you have the protein Pop-Tarts, that 42 Goes down to 37. Oh, what a reduction. That's still a lot of added sugar, dude. That's like an embarrassing amount of added sugar still. At that point, it just renders, like, you know, the protein kind of moot. You know? Because any benefits you get from it are basically going to be canceled out. Which is why when you're trying to bulk up, you need to remember that not all protein is created what the fuck? Hey! Hey, you! This was supposed to be my match. Yeah, you know what? Big shrug. Dude. You know what? I don't think Triple H did this in the simulation. I don't think he did something like this in the simulation. I think that he's just taking liberties now. I think he's just doing what he wants to do. Yeah, you know what? How about this? Bennett, you and I need to talk, okay? I think you need to evolve out of this group. I think there was a glitch because I started seeing 2 of each wrestler. No, that right there is my totally goddamn legit GameCube going to work. Egg, your behavior tonight was a disgrace. Out of respect to the work you've done since your recent call to Raw, I give you a dream matchup, a choice of opponents for your first match in what could be a great push for you. And look what happened. In case I'm not making myself clear, this kind of chaos is not what I had in mind by giving you that golden opportunity. My advice to you is that you had better think twice before taking advantage of my generosity next time. That is if I decide to even give you a next time. Do you have anything to say in your defense? I got something to say. I want a rematch against this punk next week. That is, if he's got the guts to face me one-on-one without the help of his evolution buddies. You want a rematch? You got one. And I'll even be throwing in a few stipulations to ensure that this kind of embarrassment does not happen again on my show. Dude, you didn't even stand up for yourself at all! Hey, Hachi, please, man! Well, then we'll throw their tea... They're taking our liberties, well then we'll take their tea and throw it in the goddamn bay. Good. But no, like, when you're trying to bulk
Fuck
up, you
Jonas
need to, like,
Venture.
remember.
He was the true villain in the Venture Brothers.
I think I'm realizing why he had the crown on his back. Because he's got no spine! Exactly! He's a bitch! Dude, why is Akachi such a bitch? Also, where's Randy Orton? Yeah, I think I need to evolve out of this tag team here. Because this is becoming embarrassing. Alright, Cross Bennett, let's do this. I'm pretty sure that we're just going straight to the match, right? Ah! Jesus! Ah! Oh, God. Jesus. Based on what happened on Raw last week, I feel that as GM, it is my duty to ensure that tonight's show features quality matches, which are untarnished, without controversy, or outside interference of any kind. So, I'm putting my foot down. You see, for tonight, each and every member of Evolution is banned from ringside. This means that unless you are a sanctioned competitor in a match, you do not show your face anywhere near this ring. If a member of Evolution illegally appears at ringside or in any way interferes with any match tonight, I will not only suspend them, I will suspend every member of Evolution. Have I made myself clear? Good. Dude, no. They're gonna get me suspended! These fucking bitches are gonna get me suspended. Eric has made city law to ban Evolution for WWE ringside. You know what? I fucks with Eric Bischoff on this one. I fucks with Eric Bischoff on this one. Cross Bennett deserves a rematch. And we're gonna get it here. Like, he didn't even, like... Dude, Hachi didn't even say, I promise you I did not mean for that to happen. Also, you put me in the group, Bischoff! You put me in the group to begin with. And now you're mad that, like, it's fine. And now you're mad that they're interfering in my bullshit? You seem to have a lot of jurisdiction here. Why don't you just remove me from the group? I really don't even want to be in it anymore. I just want the world title, you know? If I'm being perfectly honest, Hachi just wants the world title. I mean, we've wrestled quite a few tag matches, and they've all been really hard. So really something... So, I don't know, something easier would be great right about now. You should drop your colors as a symbolic defiance. Oh, what? Go like Hollywood... a Hollywood egg? Are we going Hollywood egg Hachi? LOL, sure. Dude, I love that. That's bars. Anyways, I think that's I think returning to his original colors, but that's a funnier idea. Dude, I gotta make him like black and white. Also, this is very quiet. Hold on just a second. The new egg order. You idiot! I didn't want my eggs scrambled. I wanted them sunny side up. This is my new egg order. You go back there, you make it right. I have a new... This right here is my new egg order. I don't want that shit scrambled. I want it sunny side up. Now you go back there, and don't you show your face, or that sack of dimes you call an heck around here again, until I get my sunny side up eggs. No, like, literally, like, all Triple H has done is get in the way, dude. Literally, all that he's done is get in my way. He fucking replaced Batista with a worse partner. He, like, interfered in my match against Cross Bennett. Like, Triple H is over here just calling all the shots for me. You know? I long for the simple days of Sunday Night Heat, bro. You just need 2 beefcakes to back you up. Dude, with all this beef and all these eggs, how can you possibly need more? Triple H doesn't stand for so-called free thinkers. Well, he would fucking hate Brian Kendrick then.
Break!
Because he's the freest thinker for mostly worse. So you hate evolution, yet you participate in it? Curious, I'm very intelligent. No! Yet you participate in it is crazy.
Break.
Ah! So you hate evolution, and yet you participate in it? Dude, we should improve Monday Night Raw somewhat. And yet you're signed to Monday Night Raw. How fascinating. Spacing codes with glue Triple H's nose. It was a tall order, but you know what? Ukes are wizards. I'm fucking glad that they made I'm fucking glad that they put in the man hours to make it happen. Damn it. No.
Hello, Mario.
Peace meal ravioli. Hello. Welcome to tonight's Long Boy Club meeting. How are you doing? Hopefully you had a good day. Get on up, you bitch. Damn it. Now he's working over my leg. Ow! Man, fuck me for wanting to do something cool, I guess. God damn it. I'm good, just fuck my sleep schedule. I see A got a new shirt. Nice to see he's going places. Oh, dude, Dude, I think we're due for another gimmick change, honestly. Because right now we are, by accident, we are Lois Griffin, Akachi. But that was only because we wanted to have goddamn matching colors with Randy Orton. Piece of shit. Dude got a bad case of hurty leg, and then he suddenly decided, I don't want to defend these tag belts anymore. So I am now the tag team champions. I thought it was just Miami Vice colors, but no, it's literally just Lois Griffin. It literally has, like, the Lois Griffin collar and the color. I bet she wore her shirt exactly like this in an episode once, too. I'm willing to bet you anything that she wore a shirt exactly like this in an episode once. No.
Break.
No. No! Okay. I literally thought that he was about to goddamn, Hold on. Hey, Peter, you remember the time I wrestled as an egg in 2004 WWE? You remember that time that I defeated the Basham Brothers? They were called the Whip Crackers back then, Peter. No! Whoa, the bridge! 1, 2! Are you kidding me? Hey, no! Wait, let me talk! Ow! I'm drowning! Okay, yeah, we need a harder edge now, dude. I'm drowning! I'm drowning with no eggs. Man, Akachi has no friends, dude. Yeah. Well, it seems that no matter what stipulations I come up with, we can't keep this match as free from outside interference. So in order to try and settle this little war once and for all, it seems desperate times call for desperate measures. So, I'm going to book you, Egg, versus you, Chris Benoit, one more time. And that match will take place next week. And it will take place in a steel cage. What's more, the winner of that match will have the unique honor of booking the match of their choice at Survivor Series. Oh, are you gonna let me do it now, Eric? Or are you gonna let Triple H do it for me? You should have used the cage match earlier, dude. Egg Hachi has so many enemies on Raw, it's crazy. He has an unbelievable amount of enemies. I could've just fucked up my sleep schedule. I get you, man. I'm probably fucking it up right now by continuing stream, but I'm having fun, so I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. Also, Birdie, if you're in chat right now, what did you put in the goddamn music section in the Discord server? Like, what's that music? You are not in trouble, I'm literally just curious. Like, what is it? Because I might want to listen to it later. I don't know what kind of music you're into, so. Hot fire. Dude, I'm a world tag team champion, and Randy isn't even here to pick up his end of the bargain. This sucks. I don't want to be the tag team champion anymore. And ain't even my kind of music, but it's so good. Real talk, I just found the song today, LOL. Is the artist Aries and underscores hip hop? Like, what's the genre? Previously on Monday Night Raw. Dude, everyone is out to get us. Speaking on behalf of Evolution. The song is electronic hyper pop. That sounds awesome. I'll have to give it a listen. You know what? This is your night. This is what you've been working for. Just you and Chris Benoit. In a teal ton, in a 10-ton cage made out of solid, unforgiving steel. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go out there and beat the hell out of Benoit. You're gonna beat him within an inch of his miserable life. You got it. I'm looking forward to this after what he pulled last week. And after it's over, after your hand is raised in victory, after we show Jericho and his pals that they're finished around here, you'll get to book the match of your choice at Survivor Series. Imagine that. Booking your own match at one of the most high-profile events this business has ever seen. You could choose to defend your tag title, settle a grudge, or even challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. I want you to think about that when you're in that cage tonight. Think about this night and what it'll mean for your career. Think about... You know what? Edge, Shelton, fucking kick the shit out of them right now. No! No! No, I didn't want to... Dude, I really don't have any beef with these guys, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Triple H, I don't think that's a good idea. They don't make teal cages. Listen, but what if they did? That'd be fucking awesome, because teal is awesome. All right, steel cage, a solid steel cage match between Egg and Chris Benoit. Escape only? God damn it. It's one of these. All right, fine. We're gonna go ahead and do... Hold on. That's... Yeah, I'm gonna turn it up just a tiny bit. Sonic music, baby. For Sonic Forces soundtrack. Very underrated soundtrack. Oh man, we're running the ropes here, brother. Ah! God, they made it boring and cowardly. No, they did! The point of the steel cage is that no one escapes it. Why no Sonic Frontiers soundtrack? I save those for very special occasions. Besides, this isn't a pay-per-view, it's Raw. You know? This ain't no pay-per-view, it's Monday Night Raw. You like your Monday nights raw or cooked? Whichever one isn't gonna give me, salmonella. And possibly a broken frickin' neck. Given how these old games are, I'm almost certain that if I were to escape within the next few moves, I will win this match. Oh, hey! Nice. How long does it take for you to kick out of this one, brother? Okay, not very long at all. I probably should have kept the pressure up. Dude, I'm kicking Benoit's ass right now. One more, brother. No. Okay, but what if I get on you and do this? Yes! Man, you need to do a lot of mashing in this one, man. Dude, that was Squash Central. Wow. That's also why I didn't play it, because I knew this was going to be short. I knew for a fact that this was going to be a short match, dude. That's why I didn't fucking, that's why I didn't fucking play it. Oh, hey, now I'm back in the cage to celebrate. Wow. Cool. Well, incredible. That was an incredible, emphatic win if I've ever seen one in my life. Wow. Go back to Sunday Night Heat, Bennett. I'm back. Alright, Bischoff. Now will you let me speak for myself and not just let Triple H do it? Well, Egg, after tonight, I must admit that despite your lack of judgment a few weeks ago, I am regardless still impressed with your singles ability. So much so, that I am thinking about putting you up there for a title shot in a few weeks, provided that you win your next few matches and remain healthy. You know, Eric, I've been around for a lot longer, and I think I also deserve a title shot. You're probably right, Randy, but title shots don't grow on trees, and since there's only a couple to go around, we can't all have one at the same time. Now, can't we? Anyways, as I promised, Egg has earned the right to book the match of his choice at Survivor Series. So I'm asking you now, what is that match going to be? No! As leader, I, Triple H, will speak on behalf of Evolution with our booking privileges at Survivor Series. Evolution has decided on a heavyweight championship match between myself and Chris Jericho. Fuck you, dude. Fine. Let's also see if we can end this faction feud once and for all. You got your championship match, Triple H, but that's not all. We're also going to see if Egg and Randy Orton versus Shelton Benjamin and Edge in a non-title tornado tag no DQ match. This feud needs to end once and for all. It's going to end next week at Survivor Series. Why wouldn't you just... Dude, why wouldn't you just put the titles on the line? Again, I really don't want these titles. I really do not want this shit, man. I really do not want this shit at all. I would like to just go for singles gold if that's okay. John Laryngitis. I'm sorry, but all I think about is like fucking Santino saying that shit. Mr. John Laryngitis. Listen, man, I wish I had laryngitis so that I wouldn't goddamn have to defend these goddamn tag straps. Like, we're not even defending the belts. What kind of shit is that? I'm wondering how different the story would be if I chose SmackDown, or if it's just like a different cast of characters, but the story's largely the same. Given how it's Big Show, Charlie Haas, and who the fuck else? Booker T. One of my favorite things is that the WWE does is giving tag titles to people who don't want the tag team title. Yeah, like Akachi. Shelton should have been bigger. I mean, he is bigger now, kinda. I would say he's bigger in the sense where it's like, well, he's in a position now where people are kind of recognizing his ability and are respecting it more. Alright, what time are we at? We're at 2 hours and 50 minutes. We can go for like a bit longer, I feel like. I fucking hate Triple H, dude. Genuinely, this has been me ever since this stream started. We fucking hate Triple H! Dude, like, what even is the point of this if we're not gonna defend the titles? You know? Like, I really don't want these, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. It is perfectly fine if you just take these off. Here, you know what? That's quiet. There you go. Oh no! Oh no, he's got the tag belts! Fuck! But no, Shelton probably could have been bigger.
Hello, Mario.
But if you're like boxing in WWE especially, there's not really much you can do. Hi, Fizz. Welcome to tonight's Tomboy Club meeting. It's been a while since I've seen you here. How have you been doing? Hopefully you had a good day. But no, I really don't want these tag belts. If we could just, like, I don't know, turn this into a tag title match midway through and just end it there, that would be great, honestly. At the very least, it's a tornado tag match, which I like better. No, are you kidding me? You're getting your asses handed to us.
It's almost time for a 2.5 minute Cheetos break, my dudes.
Good, good. Just chilling with a week off work. That's fucking awesome. What you doing with your week off? Just
It's
kind of
break
hanging
time.
around?
Where the heck's the Cheetos, my dudes?
I'll roll zone after this. I'm probably gonna restart the match, too. Goddamn.
Psygnosis offers much the same experience with Formula One racing.
No!
In fact, the games
Not
are
tonight.
so similar that once
Not
again, we
tonight. I
question
need
why
to lock
this
in
genre
for
is so
Brandy
popular.
and
We have yet
goddamn
to see any
Triple
tracks
H,
that
who
blow
I hate
us out
and
of our
despise.
chairs. No huge loops, no gigantic ramp launches.
I hate
no
this
driving
guy
through
so
waterfalls.
much, man.
Nothing imaginative. These games are supposed to be fun first and simulation second. Where's the creativity?
I am not a fan.
Why not have a game where you have to find and drive to the hospital before your wife delivers her baby? Now that would be fun. Rather than compete against other racers, you'd have to avoid getting arrested by keeping below the speed limit, obeying the right-of-way laws.
At this
and not
match, I should
tailgating.
probably take a small
Any
break,
foul
though.
up and the cops will pull you over. The best part is that you don't know how to get to your location. You have to read the road signs and hope you explore in the right direction. Anyway, Formula One has nice colorful graphics and a large number of tracks, 17 to be exact, but it's still a jar, folks. A jar all the way.
I still don't know what a jar is, chat. I never will, I think. Now, when we come back, I do kind of have a bit of a question for the audience. Just out of curiosity, because I think it would be fun to kind of go over while I'm trying to work this match here. And it's about embarrassing moments as wrestling fans. Like, what are things that happened to you as a wrestling fan that really just made you kind of question whether or not you want to keep watching this shit? Not even necessarily, like, just stuff that happened on the products that made you mad or something. I'm talking about, like, just moments where you felt embarrassment, right? Because there have certainly been moments like that for me. Particularly in college. Back when I had a roommate that wasn't my best friend in the world. I'll talk about that here once we're back from break. Give it just a second.
Nom nom. Oh, excuse me, we're back, my dudes.
Hey, welcome back to Raw. So chat, while I'm sitting here trying not to get my ass kicked by goddamn, sorry, I'm Jericho's proteges, I guess. Ooh, wow. What? Wait, KO? Dude, that was so fast. What? I didn't realize that you could do like a friggin' knockout thing here. Stop reversing all of my shit! But no, chat, like, what is like a really like embarrassing experience for you as a wrestling fan? Like, just something that happened where you were like, I don't even know if I should be watching this still. You know? For me, it came in college, right? Back when the War Raiders were first debuting on Raw. And they were obviously not debuting as, you know, War Raiders. They were debuting as the Viking Experience. And, you know, I was watching Raw that night. I was living with a roommate that wasn't my best friend in the world. And I didn't exactly feel, you know, comfortable, you know, being myself fully around them at that point. But, you know, I wanted to keep up with wrestling, so I was watching that evening. The Viking Experience make their debut, and they were making their entrance. The Viking Raiders made their entrance when my roommate came out. And my roommate at the time was like, the Viking Experience, huh? And in that moment, I just sunk down in my chair, because I was just thinking to myself, yeah, the goddamn Viking Experience. How fucking stupid am I for watching something and investing my time into a product with something that, with a team on it called the goddamn Viking Experience? Aren't I just a fucking dumbass? You know? And, like, at that point, I just wanted to, like, turn it off. Because, like, there was no coming back from that, you know? Like, that was not gonna get better. There was just no way. I like the big Viking. Dude, I'm not saying I don't like the Viking Raiders or, you know, War Raiders or whatever the heck they're called now. I'm saying that back in my college days, when they debuted as the Viking Experience, I wanted to, like, shut off Raw and never watch wrestling again. Because my former roommate, you know, came out and he was like, the Viking Experience, huh? I thought, yeah, the goddamn Viking Experience. Aren't I just stupid, huh, for investing in something with a tag team called the fucking Viking Experience? Ah! Randy! No way. Ah, dude. Ah, man, this right here I can already tell is going to become super chaotic. There you go. Most of the weird gimmick matches early Attitude Era felt kind of embarrassing, like the nightgown match between Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe. And they kept doing matches like that for nearly 20 years. It is, yes, a lot of the Attitude Era has not aged very well. Especially when it comes to women. You see almost everything when it comes to women. But no, dude. I will say that, you know, as a younger fan, maybe I just don't really get it. But, like, when I go back and watch the Attitude Era, I find that shit to be pretty unwatchable. Just in terms of, like, the pacing of it. And how wrestling is presented. I just have a hard time watching it. I do think that there is, you know, like, a lot to be gained. Or rather, you know, like, a lot to really, like, enjoy about that era, specifically in terms of the characters and just how, like, over they were. Like, wrestling will never be that white hot again, I feel like. It just, you know, it's easy to get swept up in that frenzy. But, like, that was very much, like, the era of, like, wrestling being incredibly secondary to the actual, like, product, you know? Rather being, like, incredibly secondary to, like, you know, soap opera storytelling and chronicles and stuff. Like, I'm not saying it never had any good bits. I'm just saying that, like, I think it's largely difficult to go back to and wholly enjoy when you, like, watch a lot of modern stuff, you know? Like, they were joking about concussions. Knowing what we know these days, it just felt wrong. I mean, like, I joke about, like, CTE and stuff on this channel a lot. But I feel like, at least in the context of this, it's a video game, right? Like, I wouldn't want to joke about, you know, an actual person getting killed in real life, you know, because I think that's just kind of gross. Oh! Dude, I love that, like, electric chair neck breaker.
1, 2.
Ah, really? Dude, that right there was 3. Come on. Yeah, baby! Holy shit. Dude, that wasn't even like 3.5. That was like 2 and like 9/10 had to have been. We got him with a roll up. The ref made a bad call. Well, hey, I rectified it like 20 seconds later. It's okay. But no, like, when you go back and watch a lot of those, like, matches of that time period, it can be kind of embarrassing. Especially if you consider, like, where wrestling is now. It can be a little hard to watch. Well, it's been quite a Survivor Series for Evolution. Triple H, you are once again the World Heavyweight Champion, defeating your chief rival in the process. As if there was ever any doubt. And Egg. You and your partner Randy Orton seem to have finished the job by defeating your counterparts in that tornado tag match. I may not always see eye to eye with your group, but I must admit that seeing high-profile superstars such as Evolution dominate the brand has been good for ratings. You have my congratulations. That's great, but it's not all that we want. Not by a long shot. Last week, you told Egg that he'd get a title shot. Yeah, you said that I'd get one in a couple weeks if I kept winning. Actually, I said that I was thinking about it. In light of your success this week, I think they'll be granting you a well-deserved shot at the Intercontinental title. And that shot will be against a man whom you should no doubt be very familiar with. A man who won the IC belt right here earlier tonight at Survivor Series. No, it's Bennett. Wait. A man you, Egg, turned your back on just a few months ago. Yes! In 2 short weeks, your title shot will be against the new Intercontinental Champion, Batista! Dude! No! Not my bro! My homie! My main squeeze! Batista! No! I don't want to hurt him! I don't want to hurt him, brother. Come on. I gotta fucking do it, chat. I think we gotta kill this guy, Steven. Damn. I kind of want more submission, honestly. I haven't made a lot of people tap out in this save, which is kind of surprising considering I've been pouring so much into it. Evolution speaks. They solved the mystery of Evolution right here tonight. All right, here we go. God. Okay. Okay, it's a good thing I don't need to speak for Triple H. I'm done with him. Alright, hold on. Let me get the music. I'm here with members of Evolution, who dominated at Survivor Series just last week. Next week, Egg, you will be getting your first ever Intercontinental title shot against your former partner, Batista. Ric Flair as a senior member of the group. What are your thoughts? Let me tell you, the Nature Boy has been around this business for a long time, pal. And I've never been surrounded by the kind of young talent like the kind you see standing right here. We got the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. We've got Egg. We got the World Heavyweight Champion himself, Triple H. Hey, we've also got the 16-time World Champion Ric Flair. And another thing, Coach. Egg might have his Intercontinental title shot next week, but take a look at Randy Orton. As you can see, I'm obviously in peak physical shape, and I'm ready for my title shot too. So this makes Evolution even stronger. I'm ready to grab that gold at the first opportunity, and when the time is right, I won't let anything, or anybody, stand in my way. Yeah, I mean, not many people have been around something like Egg. That's very true. Also, dude, they took liberties with Ric Flair in this game. He is jacked. Look at him. He's a beefcake in this game compared to where he was in real life. But don't worry, Egg. As long as you're the guy around here who gets title shots, we've got your back. Do you now? You didn't have Batista's back when you told me to betray him. That was some bullshit and you know it. No, we're back to Christian. How's everyone's father doing tonight? It's goddamn Christian Cage. Woo! All right. Yeah, not many people have seen too much light Egg. Dude, we haven't seen this match in a few months. Honestly, this is a little timely. We're running this match back at the appropriate time. Because we struggled against Christian before. Like you may remember. I miss Paul's Polycule. I hope they're doing well. I hope they're doing well too, honestly. Unfortunately, they're not returning my calls. But, you know, I've been watching the tapes. I've been seeing OVW. They seem to be doing okay. I just wish they would finally send me that invite. I'm waiting on it, dude. And, well, it's just not come yet, has it? Alright. So, some of you may remember. I love the Bone Cracker music. I love it too, honestly. It's great. Yeah, after what Egg did to one of them, I can't blame them. Yeah. Yeah, we took ginormous liberties with them, didn't we? That was, that's honestly valid. I'm the Bone Cracker. I'm the Bone Cracker. Dude, that shit is like 2001, like, not fest music. Like, I could definitely see them on the smaller stage, whatever band fucking wrote this song. He's the come from behind, he's the back attacker. Alright. I think now that we're here at this point, we gotta fucking set the tone, chat, for this epic rematch. His piss-stained pants are crazy. Come on. Ow! My leg! Oh shit! It will be very funny if they scramble the egg with all this build-up. They scramble the egg? It's crazy. Wow. That's honestly insane work. I love that. I'm keeping that shit in mind. God damn, we need to, like, change things up, though. I mean, especially if we're gonna be going for the IC title, then we're gonna need to, you know, make sure that our gimmick is tough enough to take on our former friend Batista. I hate how I don't even have a say in whether or not we got Batista out of there. Like, I don't know, what if I don't want him gone? What if I like Batista? I think that's fair. I gotta get hard-boiled. Dude, you're right. I gotta get hard-boiled on this shit. I cannot reverse while on the ropes, man. I don't think I can. Creepy little bastard. Get on the floor, what? Nice. Alright, Christian. We gotta give him one that we haven't given them in a while. And that is the BME! Yeah, baby! I think that's it.
Break!
God damn it! Get it hard boiled is fucking bars. Wow. I'm just naming him here, dude. Violence breeds violence. Oh no. Fuck you, no. Come on, hit it! Yeah, baby! Come on, let that be it, let that be it. 1, 2, 3, yeah! Incredible work there from Agachi. Squashing Christian after he honestly kicked our ass for, like, I just found out Bonecracker has 4 million plays on Spotify, and Fizimus is about to give it 4 million more, I bet. You're gonna build it up on, like, multiple computers, and it's gonna be, like, your most played track for, like, weeks. I love that for you, Fizz. But I do have piss-soaked pants, unfortunately, as you can see. Yes, I do want to save the game again. A whole server farm devoted to Bonecracker. It's called the Back Attacker, goddamn, server farm. But I think we're forgetting about the fishbone cracker right here. Agachi. Intercontinental title match. I think that once we win this match, we need to do the gimmick change. Right? We need to become hard-boiled. No. I don't know about that. Actually. I think we need to save that. Batista, just 2 weeks ago, you became the WWE Intercontinental Champion. Tonight, in your first title defense, you're going to face Egg, your ex-partner. What could possibly be going through your head right now? Are you thinking about the title? Or are you thinking more about getting your revenge on Evolution after they kicked you out and beat you down just a few short months ago? Yeah, I was mad as hell when Evolution turned against me, and I still intend to make each and every one of those bastards pay. The only one I feel sorry for at all is Egg, because I know how Triple H works. Triple H used us both as pawns, and neither of us saw the big picture before I got screwed over. Triple H makes like he's all about Evolution, but you know what? Triple H is only all about Triple H. I mean, you are very right about that. Like, we know exactly where it's going. Like, we know exactly where this shit is going. You don't need to fucking tell me twice, brother. You see that traitor? First that screw-up ran away from us, and then he somehow finagled his way to the IC belt. That belt should already belong to Evolution. It will tonight, after I go out and beat Batista in our Intercontinental title match. Why must we fight each other? Yeah, but that's not enough. Tonight we'll show that bastard that he'll never amount to anything as long as Evolution has anything to say about it. Yeah, we gotta fucking play that song again, don't we, chat? I want you to go out there tonight and end his career. I want you to go out there and make him wish he never started in this business. I'll have a sledgehammer hidden under the ring. What you need to do is make a statement during the match. And here's how you're gonna do it. I want you to attack Batista with that hammer and make that traitor regret the day he turned his back on us. Why are you gaslighting me like this? We betrayed him! Make sure you hammer him down during the match. Once he's been taught his lesson, you'll be the new Intercontinental Champion. Think about that. You'll leave the ring with championship gold around your waist. Now go get it done. In my piss-soaked pants. I will get this done. Is it possible, though, to not do that? Dude, I swear to God, if he comes out here with the Evolution theme song. I swear. There is no fucking way! No! No, you couldn't even get the one from, like, Here Comes the Pain? I mean, they did give him the generic Titantron, so I guess that's one thing. Evolution is a mystery. What's also a mystery is why you're using this goddamn music. Alright. I need to do the deed, chat. He may have left Evolution, but his music contract's in place still, brother. Alright. Speaking of music. They didn't have any other music for him? They should have, because they had the goddamn, like, just normal music for him in SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. It would have been crazy if he came out to the molecule music. Dude, that would have been insane. You're right. My God. Triple H is gay king. I always knew it. No. Dude, if he came out to Polyamorous, I would have popped huge. Hold on. Match style, the Intercontinental Championship. Dude, if I didn't have Triple H breathing, like whispering sweet nothings in my ear, I would be rolling with Batista big style.
Break!
Unfortunately, Egg is naive. He doesn't know the ways of the business yet. Sweet nothings is just nothing, exactly. These nothings have no flavor to them. They have no substance. It's empty calories. Unlike these, dude, these fucking eggs, they're rotten. They have no nutritional value to them. Ow! Dude, I'm getting my shit rocked right now. What? Ow! No, I'm not losing to the lariat. I'm not losing to the goddamn lariat. Dude, he's reversing crazy. He is reversing insane. Alright, I gotta see if I can fix my sleep schedule. Good luck, Piecemeal. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. I'll let you know if the polycule comes back. Dude, stop reversing everything I do! It's literally everything!
Break!
Literally, it's everything I do. Batista, go! Batista, go! No! Too heavy!
Break!
Dude, I'm gonna take like 5 Batista bombs, I feel like, by the time this is over. If anything, it's good karmatic justice for old Dave here. Now do striptease in the middle of the ring. He just sitting you to hit him with a sledgehammer before you can even do anything. I don't want to hit him with a sledgehammer though. Wait, really? No way! Wait, really? I thought this was a no DQ match. Wait, was I supposed to take out the ref first? Well, I did what you said. I went after Batista with the sledgehammer. But all I had to show for it is a DQ. The ref disqualified me. I didn't get a chance to win the belt. Yeah, I know that you get... I know that you got DQ'd and lost your chance at the title, but Evolution has to come first. Look, don't worry about it. I promise you that you'll get another shot at the IC title soon. Fuck off, dude. Huh? Did I fuck you over? No. Like, I think that was like a stipulation. I'm pretty sure that was like a stipulation. If anything, you know what? If anything, knowing this game, if you somehow won legit, it'd just say you failed, do it again. It would. Honestly, it probably would. Honestly, it probably would have. Like, I thought that was a no DQ match for a second. One big happy family. You know what? It's obnoxiously linear, even by wrestling game standard. It is obnoxiously linear. Hey, Triple H, Rick, what's up? What's on tap for tonight? I'm hoping to get another shot at Batista. The Nature Boy and I are teaming up tonight, and I've got you booked in a match that will really boost your profile and credibility. Cool. What's it all about? I'm looking to make a splash tonight after losing my chance at the Intercontinental Championship last week. Look, I don't have time to talk about it right now because I need to go talk to Randy Orton about his match tonight. I think you're up next, so you'd better go get ready. Thanks. After I take care of business tonight, Eric Bischoff will have no choice but to give me another shot at the IC title. And next time, I'll beat the champ fair and square. Until Triple H comes in and, like, fucking tells me to do something that's not being them fair and square. I'm gonna be honest, man. I've had enough of this guy. What? Really? Dude, I beat him already. I don't want to face him again. I don't want to face him again. Are you kidding me? Him and the broadest shoulders on planet Earth. Kane! That's gotta be Kane in his giant text. I heard you took my Titantron, bitch. I'm coming back to get it back. That shit's not free real estate anymore, kid. It's mine. Okay, but that's not bald Kane. That's like mostly bald Kane. He's on a quest for reclamation. Wait. What? Last store? Dude, what's this lineup? What the hell is this lineup?
It's almost time for
Dude,
a
you
2.5
really
minute
who's who
Cheetos break, my dudes.
Of what the fuck here? Average Royal Rumble match. Oh yeah, that's right. That was the beginning of the goddamn. That's my Titantron. Give it back. You know what? It's very apt for this game to just not care about me having a tag belt. It's the Bone Cracker. It's K2. And he's better and gayer than ever. It's the Bone Cracker. Egg runs like Amy Rose in Sonic Adventure. I think you mean that Egg runs like Lance Storm, who runs like Amy Rose in Sonic Adventure. Because it takes Lance Storm's goddamn thing. What? I'm sorry? I gotta team up with Lance Storm? Where's the hammer, Lance? I'm sorry, Lance only brought a sword. It's funny because... It's ironic because the man that's named Lance doesn't bring a lance to the ring. I know, shocking. Dude. What? Dude, I feel like... Do I feel like I've been set up to fail here? I feel like I've been set up to lose this fucking match. I feel like I've been set up to lose this match here, dude. Can I not reverse shit, dude? Is that just not allowed anymore? That may not be allowed anymore. Because now I'm getting fucked up. Ow! Will Lance Storm carry me to a victory here? If only Egg had the spine to leave. Well, unfortunately, he's... Ah, no, dude! Dude, you just gave the best gimmick of all time. When he finally gets a spine to leave the group, he becomes hard-boiled Egg Hachi. Because right now, he's really runny, you know? He doesn't have any density to him.
Break!
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in these matches, it's made super hard for no reason. Hard-boiled and he drops his colors. He does. Plus, we need to put him in, like, black and white, too, I feel like. Kane does suck, but that's not the point of this. Ow! His heel turn is just him having a backbone. Dude, it's not even a heel turn. Like, that right there is a babyface turn. You know? It's just so far, like, all of the baby faces in this show have been, like, absent. Because for a lot of it, it's been, like, heel versus heel, which is weird. Dude, why is this so hard now? But it's really like he betrayed the universe. Dude, if I'm given shit for standing up for myself, I'm going to shit bricks. It is going to be a bloodbath up here. Like, I feel like I'm being set up to lose this match, honestly. Which, honestly, at this point would make kind of a little bit of sense.
It's almost time for a 2.5 minute Cheetos break,
if not,
my dudes.
you know, a little bit deflating to my momentum. Alright, hold on. We need to run the ad, chat. I'm sorry. We gotta run the ad this time.
It's break time. Where the heck's the Cheetos, my dudes?
Raw rolls on it for this.
And now we're going to power up the Virtual Boy. Virtual Boy
You know what?
has
I'm
three
gonna
major
duck out for a
components:
bit
the stand,
here
the head unit,
while
and
this
the
plays.
controller. The stand is packed flat, so you want to take the stand, spread it open, and then set it firmly on the table with the feet facing forward for support. The head unit has got to be connected with the controller, so insert the controller into the spot on the head unit, and you're ready to go. Now, take your head unit, place it into the support bracket. You want to be very careful and do it gently from the back. So you tilt it in first, then push it down. There's a little spring in the back here that you can push down to open up the support bracket so it doesn't go in tightly. Release the spring, and then gently tighten it up with a tension control knob here on the side. Once you feel tension, just turn it slightly upwards until it catches. You don't need a lot of tension here. It just needs to support itself. The next thing you want to do is load in your batteries. Your batteries are in the controller on the front panel. Press the panel down, gently push it up, and your batteries will load into the slot here, 3 up and 3 down. Push it down, click it in place, and then you're ready to go. The final thing is to put your game cartridge into place. The game cartridge goes into the slot underneath the Virtual Boy. Now you have to be careful when you push the game cartridge in. You want to make sure that it connects firmly all the way in the back, because if it doesn't connect properly, when you turn it on, you won't get anything. So you want to make sure that the game cartridge is in place properly, so when you turn it on, you hear it. Virtual Boy does not have a video output port because it would only send out the signal of one of the layers of the 3D graphics. Remember, the images of Virtual Boy are created by your eyes, which combine two separately projected LED images from both sides. What we're showing you here is some exclusive footage of some of the upcoming Virtual Boy games. We obtained this footage with our cameras at E3, so please be aware that the images captured here do not in any way recreate the actual three-dimensional elements of the game's graphics and gameplay. So far, we've played Mario's Tennis, Galactic Pinball, Red Alarm, and Tolero Boxer, so stick around and see our ratings on all these games and more.
Nom nom, oh excuse me, we're back my dudes.
Welcome back to Raw, y'all. Okay, so with how hard this one is, I'm wondering if it's like a case where you're not expected to win it. Especially when we have a partner that's low on the totem pole like Lance Storm. Like, we've seen this guy before, you know? Like, he got himself DQ'd. He fucking... No, he like got himself DQ'd 2 times already, you know? He's not exactly what you would call a ginormous threat. Plus, it's a tag team match, which means that this has the potential to take a minute. Like, he's just reversing everything I throw at him. It's honestly annoying. Honestly, I do kind of want to see if, like, you can lose this match. Jesus Christ. Ow! Wait, KO? Huh? I'm sorry, knockout? Goddamn, straight through the map. And again! Dude, I'm feeding up for another. Momentum shit! The fork! The fork! In the eyes! Of Kane! That's gonna be Kane! Holy shit! Can we clutch this? We just might be able to clutch this. Die, bitch! Die, bitch! Ah! Eat my goddamn Michinoku drivers. All of them. In fact. Dude, the fork might have just saved this match. Wow. Dude, if the fork saved this match, that would honestly be beast. Get up, Kane. We are just lighting him up with Michinoku driver after Michinoku driver. It's honestly insane. Dude, why is this match so easy all of a sudden?
1, 2, 3!
No way! We clutched that shit crazy! Yeah, dude, maybe Lance Storm needs to be maybe Lance Storm needs to be my new partner. Fuck, dude. Wow. That should not have been possible, honestly. Kane was kicking my ass from pillar to post. But I got it. I got him. I somehow pulled out the win. It's called working a match, brother. What? No!
1, 2, 3!
No. Did he win the IC title? He did! You motherfuckers! You're getting evicted soon. Dude, I have to be losing my spot in this faction soon. That's insane. I have a tag title that my partner doesn't care about anymore. Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. Yep, knew it. Absolutely, I knew it, dude. I knew it! I knew it! I just didn't think that this would come so quickly. Dude, you said you're getting evicted soon. I didn't realize that meant right now. Ow! Fuck! Hey, I told you from the start, we do things my way or the highway around here. You had a shot at the Intercontinental Belt, and you screwed it up. Randy Orton here deserved the shot as much as you did, and unlike you, he made the most of it. Look at you. You're a disgrace. Consider this your walking papers. Wow. Wow. Dude, I'm mad. I am mad. Well, well, well. What do we have here? One big happy family. Isn't that just nice? Seems like Egg got a bit more than he bargained for as a card-carrying member of Evolution. But I suppose we should be congratulating Evolution for adding more gold to their family. For my part, I am happy to see a proud and loyal organization like Evolution as the custodians of so much WWE gold. So as GM of Raw, I think it's only right that I do my part to make sure that the gold stays with you as long as possible. As I recall, last week, Triple H promised Egg another title shot. I'm sure that Triple H, being a man of his word, certainly would not want to break his promise. So, next week at Armageddon, you, Randy Orton, will defend your new belt in that very ring. In the Armageddon ring, not in this ring. And you'll do so against the official new #1 contender, Egg. Now, if you all don't mind, you may vacate that ring this very second before I'm forced to suspend every one of you and put your belts up for grabs. Well, okay. Cool. Cool. It's really that easy to get title shots around here, huh? Dude, I defeated Kane after he had me on the ropes. Okay? I think at this point, now we need to make the new look. Right, chat? At this point, we need to make the new look. It's time. Sunnyside is having its final dawn. The sun has gone down, and now it's time for hard-boiled Eggachi. Hold on. It's not going to be a super makeover. But I would like to give him a makeover. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if we could finish this, like, next time we stream it. Do we keep the crop top here? R.I.P. short-lived Miami Vice look. The knit t-shirt. Really, I think that the... hard-boiled makes a thick shell, doesn't he? I feel like he would, yes. Oh, God. Dude, that's it. That's it, right there. He could go shirtless. He could. But I'm also thinking, never mind, that's way better, LMAO. I know, right? Like, he fucking gets serious, you know? What about this? Black. I'm wondering if you could hit him, like, after taking the referee down, and you could win the bell off of Batista. Bottom wear. How about this? We need... boxing? Oh, goodness me. Maybe make the hair whiter or darker, too. Dude, you're right. Half tights. Short tights. Dude, I love that. I'm a big fan of whatever the fuck this is. He looks naked without boots and knee pads. Yeah, right? Dude, what if I make him metal? Oh, goodness me. Mummy? Oh my gosh. Dude. I'm sad that I can't think of anything for that. Heavy metal, wetsuit, frill. Oh, God. Wow! Honestly, I don't know. That's a runner-up. Bondage? A throwback to the AE. The worst parts of it. This right here is my audition for the Paula Keel. Bikini tights. Under swimsuit. Skirt. Mini skirt. I think that we can't sissify Egg Hachi. What I mean by that is we can't make them look too cis, right? They need to still be, like, pretty queer. So I feel like we need to kind of think about, like, where it goes from here. Maybe bondage. I fucks with bondage quite a bit. Dude, his fucking knee. Dude, now that we can see his knees, where are his knees? They're like caved in. Do you see that? Literal chicken legs? He does. He has chicken legs. Wow, I am actually such a ginormous fan of whatever the fuck I'm doing here. Holy shit. Yeah, like, we have, like, chicken legs going on here. Gear? Wait, is it, like, accessories? Because, honestly, I think him having these tiny gloves is fun. Like, him having these tiny little gloves, I think is incredibly fun. So I'm gonna go with it. Okay, but you're right. He probably needs some, like, actual, like, wrestling gear, right? Elbow pad. Pad Jaguar. Camouflage, skateboard, that's pretty good. Motocross, a bandage, 4 long gloves. Oh my god! Wow! Dude, that is like, that's crazy. What? Here, I'm gonna give him white gloves. Those are massive. I am astonished by how big these elbow pads are. Dude, what are the knee pads gonna look like? Because now he needs knee pads. Supporter pad. Not this. There, dude. Dude, if you ever wanted confirmation that these are just textures, there you fucking go. I love that shit. Leather-laced chicken thighs. My favorite. It's got a lot of protein and fiber in it. High socks. High socks soccer. Oh, you know he's hard-boiled. He's covering up his feetsies. I mean, now that you said leather, we gotta give him the boots, brother. The boots. Ring shoes. Boots with a plate. Oh, goodness. Ski boots. Leggings? Oh! I mean, these are probably important, so you don't hurt your feetsies. It needs to be white as well. Actually, hold on. What if the boots themselves were white? Like that. Honestly, I'm a big fan of that. Dude, is that a zipper on the back? Oh, God. Dude, the zipper on the back is crazy. Yeah, okay. Let's see. I feel like that we need to reassess, right? I think that we need to reassess the decorations here on his face. Not to say that they all look bad, I'm just saying that maybe we need to think about what we're adding a bit more. You know? I think we need to ensure that he fixes up his makeup, right? It's time to get a little serious. What about the fate of his crown? That's a good fucking question, isn't it? I feel like that the implants, I feel like that we've moved past them. Either that or we replace them with something else like a plug here. Nose breath. Oh, I know what this is. This is like fighter stuff. I get it. That or... Nah, you can't see the gold dust, can you? You got rouge on here? Like a bat? Skin disease? Dude, what's the kabuki look like? Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know about that. What's this nose piercing? Wow. Implants. Dude, what are these like? And I thought the current makeup was gaudy. I don't know if we should go with that. I don't think we should. That feels not great. That feels not great. Gold dust sounds good though. But it doesn't really show, does it? Lower. So we got rid of the implants, right? We don't need them anymore. His hairstyle. We need to change its color. You know? I recommend this. White. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, the other layers of the makeup probably hide the goddamn, gold dust. Can I, like, take off the goggles? Is that something I can do? Give him a monocle. Yeah, what of... But yes, what about his crown? What shall we do with it? I think I know what we're gonna do with it. Waste. I'm sorry? We need to put it along his head. And not just that. I don't think he's at a point where he can hold it yet, right? Because literally he is at the pits, you know? I think we need to put it on his neck, right? I think that is a good spot for it. Either that or along, like, his upper back. It's, like, creeping up there. He's covering his bald spot like King Neptune. My eyes! It shrunk down considerably to fit his neck. But it's creeping up there. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Hold on. I know what to do about this. Give me just a second. I know exactly what to do about this. I know exactly how to make him even better. But first, oh yeah, that's right. That's his fucking facial hair, isn't it? Paint. Oh my gosh. These are so gaudy. Wow. Crow. Spider. I'm gonna make it black. Watch this. We're making him goth, LOL. Yeah, kinda, aren't we? But listen, I feel like if we're gonna be hard-boiled, we need to go hard on this, you know? Watch this. Honestly, I think we're on I think we're onto something here, honestly. Wait, what the fuck is this then? Chad, what the fuck did I do here with this? Okay. What about this? I don't like that, really. That's kind of disgusting. What about this? No. Sideburns? Oh, the sideburns would go hard as fuck, though, I feel. Oh, no, they would. They would. They so would. Wow. I am a ginormous fan of this. To color them white or keep them black, that is the question. I think the answer is pretty clear. White. Again, we need to make sure we're cuntifying him enough, and I feel like this is cunty enough. I think we did it. I can maybe add another bit of makeup there, though. I can maybe go a little further. Let's see. Eyeline. Dude, eyeliner would probably be pretty sick. Are we gonna go back to this? Oh, yes. Oh, that's perfect, honestly. Wow. Okay. I think we've done it. This is it. This is him right here. I may want to remove the comb. Actually, now that I think about it. I think the comb has outlived itself. We do not need the flying comb anymore. That's fine. It still has the shitty fucking, it still has the shitty fucking thing there. Wow. Alright, cool. I think that we have done fantastic this evening. Next time we play this, which will either be on Saturday or Tuesday, I think we're gonna finish this, chat. I think we're actually gonna finish this. It's been fun. It's been great. But yeah. I think we're approaching the end of this, and what a ride it's been. This has been a very fun game. It's been pretty hard sometimes. But I think if we're done with tag stuff, then this is going to be a bit of a breeze. Until then, I'm tired. And I don't know, tonight I think I'm just gonna end stream right here. I'll see you guys Saturday, alright? Have a good night, everyone.